Sports, Southern Utah.
Greetings and salutations here on the Fan Sports Network and the live stream KSLSports.com. We are ready for not just any game of the week. This is the 4A state football semifinals. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Caden Formaster, the team here ready to deliver you the first of two games tonight. Both feature Region 10 versus Region 11 in the first matchup. The defending state champ Ridgeline Riverhawks taking on the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. And guys, this was supposed to be a rebuild year for this Ridgeline team, and this was supposed to be a team that was trying to replace a lot of talent for Coach Wayne Alafapo. And both these things at this point in the season, they've got to be thinking state championship or bust. This is the Findlay Subaru pregame show, and the storylines are everywhere in this first game of two tonight.
Yes. Go ahead, Caden.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this one is a lot of fun. This was a matchup from last playoffs, actually. So the matchup here, as you mentioned before, is one of two teams that are kind of rebuilding. Crimson from last season did lose a lot of seniors. They're replacing a lot of those seniors with underclassmen through the season, and they've done well. Number one RPI ranked team against a Ridgeline team that at times can look unstoppable. They are very good. Both of these teams right now are rolling.
There's going to be three questions right now. First question, is it going to be an all Region 10 matchup? Second question, will it be an all Region 11 matchup? Or the third question, is it going to be a mix? And that question will be answered by the end of tonight. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, it's exciting. And North versus South. I mean, a lot of people wondered if, Region 10 was overseeded. They had 4 of the top 5 seeds. A lot of people wondered, well, hey, Skyview won their region. They're the 7th seed. Mountain Crest, they're here. We'll see them later tonight. They're the 6th seed. Was Region 11 underseeded? Well, I think we'll find out a lot more about that once these games tonight go down. But this bracket's probably not going chalk unless we have that all Region 10 showdown, which was your first question. Is it a Region 10 showdown? Which then that means Crimson would have to beat Ridgeline, and then later tonight Desert Hills would have to take care of Mountain Crest. But man, oh man, it's exciting here tonight. And obviously Ridgeline, when they lost Caden Cox, their senior quarterback last year, they weren't quite sure what they were going to do. Dolly has come in as a freshman. And yes, the offense has been simplified a little bit. He doesn't have the playmakers all over the field that he had last year as they won state. But they have got this kid up to speed really quickly. And he's got a tall order to try to match wits with Steele Barbin, who has been impressive this season, and he has just been catching fire. Now, Crimson did lose one of their playmakers. Sorry to hear Luke Childs tore his ACL last week, so he's shut down for the season. So they do lose one of their weapons, but Steele Barbin has been a guy that can really spread the ball around Caden all season long. He really is just reading the defense and going to the guy that's open based on the coverage.
He is, and you see this a lot right now through the high school level of these quarterbacks that seem to have some major awareness. He's one of those. He's one of these guys that has tons of awareness with where his receivers are on the field and who is open. He's getting those guys. His completion percentage this season has been phenomenal. He's doing a really good job. And the receivers themselves are doing a good job of getting open. It's a teamwork situation here where the receivers are helping him out by getting open, and he's finding those guys.
They really do spread that ball around. Steele Barbin to his receivers. Just listen to this for just a second. Boston Adamson, one of his favorite targets, has 28 receptions. Luke Childs, who you did mention will not be playing tonight, he had 31 receptions. Jordan Eaton with 29. Connor Kell with 30. Owen Peterson with 19. And Tyler West with 19. So, yeah, he doesn't just key in on one receiver. You've got to be able to cover the whole field outside of the hash marks and inside the hash marks. Look for Jordan Eaton tonight, especially inside those hash marks.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the big things, and it happened in the offseason, and that was that Jordan Eaton decided he was going to come back out and play football. We knew about him as far as his basketball ability and talent, and he loves the sport of basketball. But Coach Sweeten, one of the defensive coaches, was able to kind of convince him to come back out and play his senior season. That has been unbelievable having a big, tall target, 6'4", over the middle of the field, and Steele Barban has found him quite a bit. Now, you look at a couple of other variables in this game. Dolly, his numbers are really good. I mean, Dolly is for a freshman, putting up some eye-popping numbers, 166 completions out of 288 attempts, so he's about 58%. He's averaging a nice number, 11.4 yards per pass, guys. 12 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. I'd say that's a pretty good ratio for a ninth grader that might not even have his driver's license yet.
Hey, for a freshman, I'm taking those numbers all day long. For a senior, I would maybe even take those numbers. Those aren't bad numbers at all. They got to be happy with their pickup at quarterback there from this freshman, from Nate Dolly there. And I like what he's been able to do with this Ridgeline team on the offensive side. Again, they find ways to move the ball offensively, and it's kind of a beautiful thing to watch. I was able to watch them earlier this season in the preseason when they came down south to take on Snow Canyon, and they just made it look easy. And again, after this supposedly being kind of a rebuild year, it just kind of looked like they were rebuilt. It looked like they were ready to go out there and play. So this is a team that's going to be good for a while.
Well, and again, we talked about Crimson and Steele Barban spreading the ball around. So does Dally. I mean, I'll tell you what, he has 5 receivers that have over 20 receptions, and one of them also being a freshman, Graham Livingston. Imagine that. You're going to have 4 years of Dally and Livingston to deal with, Region 10.
And I think he has a little bit of edge in the playbook because Jeremy Livingston, the offensive coordinator for the Riverhawks, she shares the same household with him. So, but they do get a big guy back. A collarbone knocked Olsen out. Number 1, Jackson Olsen. You're going to see him, who he returned last week. And the stats really don't say much because he's been out all season. I think it's his second collarbone injury. I was talking with Dave, who does the play-by-play for Ridgeline earlier in the week on our show on the Fan in the mornings, and he was talking about how big a boost it was. And I think it was a bad mismatch for Snow Canyon because Ridgeline is big in the trenches, guys. This is a big offensive and defensive line. Your thoughts on the battle down in the trenches, because Crimson has proven to be one of the most physical teams. They got Neeson back from an injury, so he's good to go. Andrus moving at the start of the year from offensive lineman to defensive lineman. He's a big gap filler and a big playmaker. McKay Wright and this linebacker core, they keep him fresh, rotate through a lot of guys, but this is a very talented linebacker core Coach Alofubo has for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they've put together a really solid defense. You know, when we were talking in the beginning of the season about Crimson's defense, they didn't have anyone returning, starting-wise at least. None of the starters were coming back. And now you look at this defense, and you wouldn't guess that at all. You would never think that was the case. And it is. That's exactly where we're at right now, where this Crimson defense definitely brings it every single game.
And, Devin, you and I have coached before. We know that games are won and lost in the trenches. There doesn't have to be the difference of size, though. Sometimes speed will overcome size. But it's whoever is going to play the best in the trenches, they will have the best opportunity to win tonight. We've seen that game after game. You win those games in the trenches.
Yeah, no question. It'll be fun to see the schemes. I mean, against Snow Canyon last week, Ridgeline went to a 3 tight end set. And I know Hunter Knighton, one of those tight ends, got a touchdown in that win 41-20 last week. So they've punched their ticket to the semis. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. When you have a winning culture, everybody was high on a couple other teams. Everybody thought maybe Green Canyon was going to have a heck of a season this year. Skyview, who had won 2 out of the last 3 state championships. In fact, before Ridgeline won the state championship last year, it was Skyview that won the 2 previous years. But no, Ridgeline is back. They're here to play, and they've got their hands full with the Mustangs tonight. Later tonight, we'll see Game 2 in the semifinals here in the 4A classification, featuring Mountain Crest, maybe the surprise team, as they are the 6th seed, and they are still here in the semis trying to punch their ticket. They'll have to go through the 2 seed Desert Hills. We've got you here on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com, on the live stream. We're coming at you statewide, and of course on 93.1 in St. George on your radio dial. It's kind of a little bit ironic as we're inside of our Finley Subaru pregame show that we're up here at SUU, and everybody else is down from Cedar City to St. George to watch SUU travel down to Greater Zion Stadium to play that rivalry rematch down there tonight. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff, and that's going to be a heck of a game tonight, we think.
Is the Axe going to come back up I-15, or is the Axe going to stay down in St. George? That's the big question.
Yeah, definitely is a big question tonight. A lot of good football going on across southern Utah here at SUU and at Utah Tech tonight. So glad to be a part of it in some way, whether here or at Utah Tech. Both of those going to be great matchups between, of course, here with Crimson Ridgeline, Mountain Crest Desert Hills, and SU Utah Tech. Throw them in there as well.
It's fun to be a sports fan this time of year, and we're glad you're with us here. This is the Findlay Subaru pregame show. We'll take a quick time out, come back with more storylines, dive into some of the keys to the games, talk about some of the other stars that we'll see on display here tonight at Eccles Coliseum. Quick break, 2-minute timeout, and back after this on the Fan Sports Network.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main.
The Man Cave structure is a specialized custom.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend. Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover
get people
more.
to try our tennis balls.
We got to get the word out.
Word out. Hey, maybe we should advertise.
Now, that costs money, and we don't have much money.
So, yeah, I don't want to advertise until we have more money.
Which we'll get when we sell more balls and
make some
profit. So we don't need to advertise. We just need to wait.
For what?
For profits.
You're absolutely right.
Sometimes I'm so brilliant I actually scare myself.
Yeah, it gave me goosebumps.
Can I see one?
Oh, look.
While you're waiting, your competitors aren't. They know something you don't know. It's called advertising, and it works. So get on the ball. This message brought to you by this station, the Radio Advertising Bureau, and produced by the famous Radio Ranch.
Earlier is headed down to the sidelines. He's going to do some sideline reporting. We're going to try to get both coaches at halftime, try to get some post-game reaction from players and coaches as well for the winning team. They're sending out the captains to the T-Bird emblem here at Eccles Coliseum in Cedar City, Utah, home to the 4A semifinals. And both the captains shaking hands, all four for each respective team. Let's dive into the keys to the game. Brought to you again by Findlay Subaru. Go check out the all-star lineup on the saving side of the freeway at Findlay Subaru. Mark, for Ridgeline. Obviously, you're deep in the season, so you need your freshman quarterback probably not to play like a freshman tonight, and he's proven he's capable of playing some big things. You want to really control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and you want to get Olsen going again. I mean, he's had to sit out all season long. He is back, and they want to get him the ball in open space. And Ridgeline needs to be really solid on those money downs, those third and fourth downs. If they're going to roll the dice, got to try to convert more times than not. Those are some of the Ridgeline keys to the game, brought to you by Findlay Subaru. As for Crimson Cliffs, what do you think is going to be vital and paramount tonight for Coach Wayne and the Mustangs to punch their ticket to the state championship game?
You know, Crimson has always led. Crimson
Go ahead.
Okay, Crimson has always led with their defense for sure. This is a defensive team. They lean on the defense. It's going to be able they need to make the freshman quarterback uncomfortable in the decisions that he makes. They have to put pressure on this freshman quarterback. Hopefully he can make freshman mistakes because, again, this Mustang defense, it's legit. And let's see if they can really rattle a freshman quarterback who really, this deep in the season, can we call him a sophomore?
Yeah, no question about it. No question about it. And this Crimson defense, you look at this team, they're very balanced. McKay Wright leads the way with 82 tackles, but Williams has 79. Andrus has 70. Phillips has 66. They've got 4 more guys that have 50-plus tackles, including their safety, Jay Sweeten. So this is a team that really plays together on the defensive side of the ball. Ridgeline defensively, they've got some playmakers themselves. This is a team that will get after you, put pressure on the quarterback, not scared to turn some guys loose. But their leader is clearly Monk, the senior. I mean, Monk is the guy, 128 total tackles this year, 11.5 tackles for loss. This guy, you're going to see number 10 fly all over the field. He is certainly a playmaker to watch in this game tonight. Got just about a minute and a half left. Of course, the earlier games here, Juab beat Canyon View in the 3A semifinal game that started at 10 a.m. this morning. And the reason we're a little bit running behind here, and this is looking like about a 4:17 kickoff, is because Morgan just got the win. They won as well, and they have advanced to the championship game next week where they will meet Juab, and both those games went a little bit long. So we're running just a few minutes behind, but worth the wait, huh, buddy?
Absolutely. And hey, if you're wondering how both of these teams got here, say you're new to region or 4A classification football, this is how they got here. Crimson Cliffs, number 1 seed, they got the first round bye. Ridgeline played Pineview. They hosted Pineview, beat Pineview 24-0. Ridgeline in the second round in the quarterfinals play Snow Canyon, beats them 41-20. Crimson beats Cedar 33-14, and that's how both of these teams got here. So very interesting, again, Crimson being the number 1 RPI seeded team and Ridgeline being number 4, yet in our Perry's Power Guide, Ridgeline is the favorite.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think you can kind of throw out favorites, not favorites at this point in the year. It's just time to, play for each other, take care of your assignment. Obviously, penalties, turnovers, those big statistical categories can swing a game and momentum in a big, big way as we are getting closer and closer to the kickoff here. Mustangs wearing the all red with the white jerseys today. Ridgeline wearing the all white jerseys with the blue numbers, white helmets. Both teams looking clean and fresh with the jersey schemes tonight.
Absolutely. Boy, I'll tell you what, those red with white, those red jerseys with the white lettering, that is sharp. They are looking really sharp over there. And again, yes, you're exactly right. Those Ridgeline colors are certainly popping as well.
So let's get 12 minutes put on the clock here, and let's get you ready. They're delivering the game ball, so they've got a copper hanging right over the field level. You got a representative from each Ridgeline and Crimson out there. Any guesses who's going to make the catch here, Mark?
Well, I don't see the win. It looks like it's Crimson's going to be able to get that ball.
There's the game ball brought in, and fun little way to start this game. And no, it's not windy. There's just a helicopter above the field. There is probably a 7 to 8 mile an hour breeze here, but it's actually really perfect football. These kids, you can see the snow around the field. Yesterday they had to clear the field before some of the playoff games, but field is clear, looking good. You got a foot or two kind of around the perimeter, just on the edge of the turf and off of the track because of the storm that came through earlier this week. And beautiful backdrop, Mark. You look out to color country, and this is one of the best backdrops in all of college football here, and it's our home for high school semi-football tonight.
I was just going to mention that. You just beat me to the punch just for a second. This is absolutely gorgeous what we're looking at right now. So excited to be here, Devin, and man, just looking forward to being involved in both of these games today. So
Let's go. It will be Crimson the one in the toss. They did defer, so Ridgeline and Nate Dolly will have the football first. And we are moments away from the kickoff here. Glad you're with us on the live stream or 93.1 St. George News Radio in St. George. And the kickoff is going to go into the end zone, 5 yards deep, and a touchback. And here come the Riverhawks, the defending state champs from last year. They beat Dixie for the title. Coach Cox, an incredible head coach. He's got a really brilliant offensive coordinator in Jeremy Livingston that has really brought this young offense alive. And here they are as they break the huddle and come over to the middle of the field, ball spotted between the hashes. Mustangs will stay in a 3-4 defense. Both these teams like to run a 3-4 defense defensively. And here is Dolly with an empty set. They're going empty in the backfield. And it's a 5-receiver look. Trips to the far side of the field, twins to the near side of the field.
Wow, already a penalty.
And we start the game with a penalty, and I believe it's a delay of game. They didn't get it off in time. That's not how you want to start this thing off tonight.
No, it's not, man. That's just you want to be a little bit more clean coming right from the sideline. That play should have already been called and go.
So they'll back them up 5. It'll be 1st and 15. And now Dolly ready. Here comes the snap on the slap of the hands. He goes slant route over the middle. It's caught, and that's going to be about a 2-yard gain, and that was it. Quick tackle made there by the Mustang outside linebacker to keep that to just a short gain on 1st down.
Yeah, McKay Wright was right there for the Mustangs, and immediate tackle, so short gain on the play. 2nd
down. Both these teams can go fast. We'll see who wants to go up-tempo. Early on, it's an RPO handoff and a little bit of a crease off left tackle. And that's about a 5-yard gain out across the 25-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd down and a long 4 for the Riverhawks.
I was just looking at Caden Hawes. He came up kind of holding that arm just a little bit. In fact, he's going to come off the field for a second.
Yeah, don't
worry. That's Parker Andrus. I apologize. That's Parker Andrus that was kind of just holding that forearm a little bit.
Yeah, don't want to get hurt early on. That's the last thing you want to do, obviously. Check on that. He's as tough as they come. His older brother, Bronson Barber, getting married in a couple weeks. Of course, what a great career he had in Region 10 a few years ago. He's up at BYU now. Flat, and the pass is caught in the flat, and it's going to be short of a 1st down. It's going to be a short pickup of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down, and on comes the punt unit. And a nice reception made by number 27, Tanner Paskett, but short of the sticks. You want to run that route a little deeper, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely, but Jay Sweeten was right there with the tackle. The catch was made, immediate tackle by Sweeten. Nice play by the corner.
So punt unit is on, and the punter for the Riverhawks is standing, Trace Dustin, standing inside his own 15-yard line. Snap is good. Left-footed kick is good. Angled away, and it does take a hop, and it is returnable. And out across the 35 near the 39-yard line goes Tyler West, the junior speedster who's got big playability in the special teams department as well as at wide receiver. And mission accomplished for the Mustangs defense, and now they got pretty good field position. They'll open up this drive, and they'll officially put it at the 38, their own 38, 1st and 10 Mustangs.
And let's be honest, at that 5-yard penalty that Ridgeline started off with, they ended up with 4th and 2. You minus that 5-yard penalty, and maybe this series, that drive is still happening. So you got to be clean. Everything is magnified in a semifinal playoff game.
Man in motion, that's Jordan Eaton. Still Barbin, junior quarterback. Out of the gun, he'll hand it off, bouncing outside. And then nice tackle down low made by number 16, Ashton McFarland. And Topalian didn't get much, a yard gain, and that was it.
Yeah, that corner for McFarland really, we got a penalty marker. He was playing downfield for sure.
Yep, here comes the unsportsmanlike penalty against the Mustangs. That was an equipment, something to do with equipment.
Yeah.
We don't have our mic turned up. But I swear he said something about improper equipment. Now, that's an emphasis lately. If you don't have knee pads, for instance. There was that stretch where you didn't want to have the knee pads because you felt like you couldn't run as fast. You have to have knee pads. It could have been, something along those lines. I don't know, but that's something.
Hey, guys, if I can chime in here.
You betcha.
Go ahead, Caden.
He had a towel in his back pocket. One of the receivers did, and they said, we don't like that towel, so he made him throw it off to the sideline.
All right, thank you, Caden. Good information there. Barban going to throw after the penalty, in trouble, scrambling, and he's going to be sacked. Loss of about a half a yard back inside the 25-yard line, and a big-time play by the Riverhawks defense after the penalty, and now Crimson is in a little bit of a hole here.
Again, both teams coming out with really unnecessary penalties. And here we are, Crimson now looking second or third, and a long ways for the Mustangs to go. So we need to clean up both of these teams as far as penalties. I think they've affected both of these drives.
So second down and 24. And it'll be Barban, a little pistol look. Mustangs working left to right on your radio dial. Now they bring the back up to the left. Now Eaton goes in motion across the formation to make it a trip to the top of the field. Ball in the center between the hashes. Barban looking to throw. Dump it underneath. It's caught by McCord Christiansen. And Christiansen's going to tightrope the sideline. And where did he step out? I think around the 35-yard line.
Yeah, a few yards short of the original line of scrimmage. So special teams will come out and they will punt this ball away to the Riverhawks. So, again, I think penalties affected both of these offenses' starting drives.
Yeah, no question. So punt unit on. And I apologize. I thought on the penalty they would replay the down there, and it is now fourth down instead. So fourth and about 14. And the Mustangs will boot it away. It's a high kick, but not deep. It's going to land in Riverhawks territory at the 45. And it's going to just kind of sit right there at about the 44-yard line. So now Ridgeline's going to have really good field position for their second drive of this ball game.
Yeah, hopefully they know what play they're coming out right to start. They don't get that delay of game, because that's exactly what happened when they started off this game. Penalties a factor so far? I would say yes.
Barban goes 1 for 1, hits, McCord Christiansen on that 10-yard game, but because of the penalty, not good enough. Nate Dolly, he started this game 2 for 2, but only for 6 yards. So both these quarterbacks kind of trying to fill out the opposing defense. Dolly goes empty, ready to go. 1st and 10 pass. He's hit as he throws. It's up, and it is caught outside by number 3 of the Riverhawks. That's Carson Cox, the junior.
It was a great catch, Devin, but it was out of bounds. So not gonna count for Ridgeline, but it was a nice catch.
Man, looked like he was close to getting that foot in. Of course, just like college rules, just need the 1 foot in, but the pass carries him out of bounds. And second down and 10 from the 44. Riverhawks going quick. Handoff up the middle. Ripstein is going to be hit, and not much there at all. Actually, that might have been number 23. No, that was J.T. White, the other running back. And J.T. White, Noah White, graduated. He was part of that championship run a year ago. J.T. is his younger brother, just a sophomore, but he's played some valuable roles this year for Coach Cox and Coach Livingston, the offensive coordinator. And now it's 3rd down and 7.
It's going to be very difficult to run against this Mustang defense. They play downhill.
Looking over the middle, passes in a pocket, it's bobbled and then caught. Bringing in the catch was Graham Livingston, the freshman. He had to recollect it, and that's an First Credit Union first down.
That was an incredible catch. The concentration level that freshman had to have. He knew he was going to be hit, and he was hit after the bobble, but he brings it in. Beautiful catch by the freshman.
1st and 10, Riverhawks. Handoff off right tackle, and White is going to get it down to the Crimson Cliffs 35-yard line. Pickup of 3.
The Mustangs keeping it 2nd and somewhat long here.
Out of the gun. Handoff and a reverse. Here comes Olsen. Olsen's going to tuck run. Now he's going to throw it last second, and it's caught outside by number 19 of Ridgeline. A beautiful little play. Didn't go for a lot of yardage there, but they do execute the trick play.
But that last-second decision for him to throw it did pick up an extra few yards. He would have gained maybe 1 or 2 if he'd have just tucked it and ran, but a late-second decision definitely picked up some yardage.
And that's Nate Dawley, right? The quarterback that ended up catching that football, if I'm not mistaken. Handoff and a run, and pretty good tote there off left tackle. On 3rd and 1, they get 5 yards. Good blocking by the left side of that Ridgeline offensive line, and now they want to go with a little more tempo.
Yeah, on that left side of the line, there was a nice little hole there on the outside.
They'll run it again. This one off the right side again, and trucking his way for another first down. Still pushing ahead. That's a gain of 10.5, maybe 11.
Man, that was a punishing run right off of the right guard. He saw a hole, exploded through it, and then used his power to get another 2 or 3 yards out of that.
Will Ripstein, it's kind of like White's more of lightning and Ripstein is more thunder. They'll give it to Ripstein again, and he'll take it down inside the 10-yard line. Another gain of 4, and they're going up-tempo, ground and pound here into the Cache Valley Bank red zone. Go the Ridgeline Riverhawks.
And they're going right into the strength of the Mustangs right now, too. They're just shoving it right down their throat. Run outside, and good pursuit laterally by a couple of Mustangs, including Sweeten, and he got there first to take down J.T. White, and tackle made right at the 10-yard line. And now 3rd down and 6, can get a first down just inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And we'll give you an update, too. Parker Andrews kind of came out on that first drive when they were on defense. He is back out there now, so Parker Andrews back there on the line. That is good news for Mustang fans, certainly. Man in motion, that's Olsen. And they're going to throw it backwards to him. He's going to look to throw wide open in the end zone, but he underthrew him. Did he keep it off the turf? No, he did not. That play was there. I was just going to say the same thing, Devin. That play was definitely there. If he gets that ball out just a second earlier and throws it a yard further, it's 6 points for Ridgeline. And Mason Criddle did what he could, the senior wide receiver. Tried to adjust back to the ball, and now the field goal unit will have to try to come on here with 4:26 left in the first quarter. Ridgeline trying what would be about a 27-yard field goal. And here comes the snap. And here is the kick, and the kick is away, and it looks good, and it is good. So the field goal good, and Ridgeline strikes first. They lead 3-0. 27-yard field goal, nothing but the middle of the uprights, and we are underway. We're going to take a quick break, full timeout, come back. Crimson trying to get on the scoreboard next when we return on the Fan Sports Network.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
4 means if you call us and say, you give me a bid for a swimming pool, we give you a bid in 5 days. It also means if you call us about a pool, ask us about a bid and say, I want you to build our swimming pool. We finish your swimming pool in 4 months. Yes, 4 months. We hope at this point you're just wondering who we are and how to call us to see if we can really get you a bid in 5 days and finish your pool in 4 months.
On the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Wilkinson's, lights, fans, home decor, and so much more. Appreciate them keeping track of the scoreboard for us all season long. Kickoff goes into the end zone for the touchback, and here comes still Barbin, who threw one pass for 10 yards, but they got behind the chains for I guess illegal equipment, which Caden told us, Mark, was a towel.
Yeah, that's it. I've never really heard of that before, but that's I guess a rule.
No, Barbin has a towel, and so does Topalian in the backfield as they go pistol. Now Topalian will come up to the right of Steele Barber. Here comes Jordan Eaton in motion. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They trail 3-0, 4 minutes, 20 seconds. They'll run it up the middle. Topalian's going to pick up 5 and maybe push ahead to 6, a little extra effort, and it'll be 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, the offensive line opened up a hole right there off of the right guard. He exploded through it. Had contact about 4 yards, but then he really stretched it out, picked up that extra 2 yards.
Go down to Caden in just a second and talk about what the excitement was on that stop, holding Ridgeline to just a field goal after this play. 2nd down and 4. They'll run it. And Topalian's going to bounce it outside, and he's going to get it to the 29-yard line. Caden, was there a little energy holding the Riverhawks to the field goal moments ago?
Absolutely, guys. And big shout out to Jay Sweeten. He did a great job in that last stance of downs there, making sure to help get that stop. Obviously, that short pass helped as well on that little bit of a trick play. But at the end of the day, held them to 3 points. Crimson's pretty happy about that.
Thank you, Caden. Checking in with him from time to time. 3:13 and ticking. And here comes the run, and it's Topalian, and he's going to get the 1st down on 3rd and just a half a yard. He got about 3 out near the 32-yard line, and that's U First Credit Union.
1st down. You know, both of these offense looks like after those first drives, they had a couple of penalties. Looks like they've settled in a little tiny bit. Looks a little bit more smooth down there.
Out of the gun. He'll run it, jumping outside, then jumping back inside. Topalian, he'll pick up 3. Never really could get his momentum going. Well defended by Ridgeline. Swarming that run, and coming out of that pile after making the stop was Tanner Paskett, the senior defensive end for Coach Cox and the Riverhawks.
I just feel like it's coming, Devin. They're just setting up the run, and then they're going to go look down to Connor Kell or Jordan Eaton for a big play here. Expect that very, very soon.
2nd down and 8. Barber going to throw. Just the 2nd attempt of the game. Outside out route, and it's in and out of the hands of Tyler West. It's a pass that Barber put right on the hands. Was it a tough catch? Certainly, but probably one Tyler West should have made.
And I think if you ask Tyler, he would say, yeah, I should have made that catch for sure.
So 3rd and 8. And we talked about this, turnovers, penalties, but you get a state semifinal game, you got to be good on 3rd down. And as a defense, Ridgeline wants to get off the field and try to keep the field position for their offense. They lead 3-0. 3rd down and 8. They'll go out of the backfield. It's caught by McCord Christiansen, and he is flipped up in the air on a beautiful tackle by Noah Kiakahona. The DB just flipped him up in the air, and that is well short of the 1st down, and punt unit on for the Mustangs.
That was a great open field tackles, one of the best that you will see at the high school level. Beautiful, beautiful open field tackle.
Yep. No question about that. That's a big-time hit. Risky, because if he jumps a little early and hurdles him, he probably runs for the 1st down. Punt. This one a little lower, and it's going to take a little bit better Mustang bounce, and it'll roll down near the 25-yard line and creeping even a little bit further down near the 24-yard line. Mark, what are your impressions so far? This Ridgeline defense looks pretty stout.
It really does. I think that the Mustangs are going to have to open it up just a little bit more. I know they've been leaning on that running game, but Ridgeline has been ready for it. They've been picking up 2 yards here, 3 yards there. They did go downfield a little bit to Tyler West. Yes, he should have made that sideline catch, I'm sure. But I think you're going to see some adjustments here shortly. They will open it up a little bit. I'm surprised they haven't gone to who I think is their number one playmaker in Jordan Eaton.
Yeah, let's check on McCord Christiansen, too, because he kind of came off ginger on that last tackle. And now Ridgeline, Dolly going to work. Left-handed quarterback. The freshman fires it outside. It's incomplete. And then 2 flags come in. They were tangled up on that far sideline. And it looks like Charles Morby might get tagged with pass interference. He had his hands on him as he tried to turn back shoulder and come back to that football.
Looking at that on the Holbrook asphalt replay,
that's a hold.
They're going to call a hold. I was going to say, I didn't think it was a pass interference.
So that'll help Ridgeline out. penalty will mark it out to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yep, that yardage definitely results in a Ridgeline first down.
Game flying by, especially since both teams are really trying to fill each other out, and both teams are really trying to establish the run game here early on. But that pass outside the hold, and now here comes Olsen in motion, scissor action. They'll hand it off, and Ripstein is ripped down. Beautiful job coming up there on the outside and making a surefire tackle.
Rowan Williams chased him down from behind. Beautiful play by the junior.
Yeah, he's been incredible this year. But they're going to call a face mask. I didn't see Williams grab face mask. Did you?
No, he was pulling him down from behind. I would have been more on board maybe with a horse collar.
That's what I was thinking.
Than
maybe
a face mask.
79 tackles coming into this game for Rowan Williams. I'm not sure if the penalty was on Rowan. It could have been somewhere else where they got a face mask because I didn't see it on the initial tackle, but I could have missed it. 1st and 10, though. So 2 first downs in a row on penalties on this Mustang defense, and they're right near midfield. Riverhawks going to throw. Play action pass. Taking a shot. Olsen. Jump, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Mustangs. Here comes Braden Smith, the left side with a couple blocks. And Smith is going to be hit. Bounces off the hit out across the 35 to the 37-yard line, and Crimson gets the takeaway on the Oski.
A momentum change has just happened. The Mustangs are going crazy.
Well, it looked like Olsen, slowed down. He could have kept running to high point the ball. It looked like he just misjudged it. Maybe a little rust there, being out most of this season with that collarbone, because he could have ran faster to get to the point and then turn left. He mistimes it and doesn't get deep enough, and that means interception. Here comes Still Barber and the Mustang offense. They trail 3-0 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Twins to either side. Back out of the backfield is Topalian. He catches it, turns upfield. Out across the 40 to the 41, and he is thrown out of bounds.
The Mustang crowd definitely looking for a little extracurricular throwdown on the sideline, but he didn't go to the ground. I think that was a good no call for sure, but they are sure hollering for it.
I didn't think that was...
No, I didn't either.
The tackle started inbounds.
Did you hear the crowd reaction, though, Devin? It was they were wanting it for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody wants the calls for their beloved team. Of course, Crimson on the home sidelines for this game. Barban checking it down again. And it's caught. Topalian breaks a tackle, then slips. And he is going to be right at the sticks. I think it's going to be enough for a U-First Credit Union first down.
I do, too. I do believe he does have that. They will be moving the sticks here shortly. One thing that I loved about Barban right there is this was about his third check. He went through all of his receivers, and then he went to the check down. It was there, and they picked up a first down.
Pistol formation. They haven't really used it. They started it, but then usually Chris Jansen or Topalian will come up, and now they do come up. That's Chris Jansen to the right of Barban. He's going to throw a little receiver screen outside to Eaton. It's tipped. Well, it's off his fingertips, and it was kind of hanging in the air, and nobody could get to it, so it falls to the turf incomplete.
That is a scary tipped pass. That could have easily been intercepted and taken back for a pick six. Thank goodness for the Mustang fans that it did drop to the turf.
2nd down and 10 for Crimson. Boston Adamson split way out to the trips. Eaton's in the slot. West single receiver on the near sideline. Barban's looking to the trip side. Taking a shot now back to West. One-on-one coverage. West behind the defense. It's batted away, incomplete. Good coverage back there by Ashton McFarland. We've seen him come up and make a big hit. Now he's getting back deep. And Crimson can't get behind this Riverhawks defense just yet.
And again, great, like you had mentioned, great coverage by McFarland to stay step for step with West, the speedy receiver.
And now it's going to be 3rd and 10. We'll see what the Mustangs draw up here. Washington Fields, Utah, the newest 4A school. Of course, Ridgeline was the new school up there in Millville until Crimson came along in 4A. And over the middle, they're looking for Eaton. A little bumping going on. And now a late flag comes in.
Eaton, Eaton was looking around for the flag. It did come in late, so his asking for it certainly helped.
So that's going to be pass interference, we believe. And that's going to be big. Instead of maybe a risk of going 4th and 10 and having to punt, now you're going to get a first down inside the 40 of the Riverhawks. 12 seconds left in the first quarter. 3-0 Ridgeline has the lead.
And, if you're the Mustangs, with that interception, you got the ball. You want to turn this into points.
Run to Christiansen, bouncing outside. Now he bounces to the middle, trying to cut back, and a big-time tackle made by number 27, Tanner Paskett. We've called his name a ton already in this game. Big-time hit.
Yeah, the defense really stretched him out, and then they were able to shoot those gaps for the tackle.
Owen Monk, if he had any trouble slipping away, he would have been right there to help clean up that tackle. That's the end of the first quarter. Full 60-second timeout. Ridgeline on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, leading Crimson Cliffs 3-0. Crimson marching when we come back.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, Mountains Await. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
We are back live, and that is a throw over the top, down the middle, and it is touchdown Mustangs. First play of the second quarter, and what a dime by Steele Barbin.
Tyler West with the reception. They're going to put 6 points on the board for the Mustangs.
Wow. That was incredible. Just a great pass right on the hands of West. They almost had it a couple plays ago, and it was broken up. That time, McFarland and company couldn't get a deflection, and Tyler West takes it into the end zone, and Crimson has their first lead of the game, 6-3. Uh-oh, slow roller, and the snap never got there, and it's no good, and we're going to stay 6-3. That snap was rolling all the way to the placeholder.
They did the best they could. The holder got it down, but at that point, the defensive line is already in there.
Steele Barbin, 39 yards. What'd you like about that play, Mark?
Well, if you're a Mustang fan, what you did like about that play is it put 6 points on the board. No, I really like how Tyler West went up with his hands. He missed a sideline catch just a little bit earlier. I'm glad that it went right back to him, get him his confidence. And, again, great catch up on top with his hands. Beautiful catch.
Keep it right here. Caden Formaster, the third member of our crew. We'll be checking in with him throughout this game. And, Caden, how about the dime from Steele Barbin? That ball looked perfect.
What a pass coming out of the quarter right there, out of that break to Tyler West. All of that being started from Braden Smith's interception to bring it all the way back down, get some points on the board. And I got to tell you guys, the sideline is hyped.
Got to love that. Thank you, Caden. Sideline Reports brought to you by our friends at Luke Udy, American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof. Get a free auto, home, or life insurance quote today. And a little pooch kick. It's going to land at the 20, bounce one hop, and then be fielded by the deep back. And he's going to return it up to the 30-yard line on the return, number 86, Jack Jensen. But not much there, Mark.
No, there's not. I don't understand that type of that kick. You just gave him an extra 10 to 11 yards. You have a kicker that can kick it into the end zone. Kick it into the end zone is my thoughts. Make him go the 80 yards.
Early moments here, 11:47 on the clock. Appreciate Nets on Fire, bringing you high school playoff semifinal football, building champions on and off the court. And, of course, here comes Dolly, the freshman quarterback, going back to work after the interception led to the touchdown. Underneath, he drops it off, and a big hit made out there on the reception. That was Mason Criddle, and then boom, the hit comes, and he got dropped like a sack of potatoes, Mark.
Yes, he did. Again, both of these defenses are making great open field tackles, and they are both led by their defenses, so that's not a surprise.
Coming up, making that stop, number 29, Braden Smith, who already has an interception. And another nice defensive play by this Mustang defense. And later in the game, we'll be selecting our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game. And right now, Smith's got a couple top play nominees. 3rd down and 5 here from the 36 of Ridgeline.
I didn't see who got into the backfield right there, but the Mustang defensive line really playing downhill, I should say, getting into the Ridgeline backfield.
3rd down. Blitz comes. Williams up the middle. Here comes another blitzer. Pass to Olsen. Caught. 1st down and more. Makes a man miss. Dives out to the 49-yard line. And that is a pickup of 15 yards over the middle.
Beautiful. After the yak. After the catch was phenomenal. He picked up another 7 just by himself with a couple of dance moves, Devin.
You can see what a big get it is to get their senior back. He's already committed to play next-level college football at Utah State, but that collarbone had sidelined him until last week. 1st and 10, Riverhawks. We'll see what offensive coordinator Jeremy Livingston draws up. We'll have to wait. Looks like movement and a false start going to be called on Ridgeline.
Yeah, just couldn't, what do they call that, Devin? Holding your water?
Yeah, it looked like a lot. There was 3 guys that jumped, so something's certainly off there. It wasn't just one guy flinching. It looked like maybe miscommunication on actually what the count was supposed to be snapped on.
Get everybody on the same page here.
1st and 15. Dolly looking to throw, looking down the field. Hit comes. It's a fumble. And it's recovered by Crimson Cliffs. Unless the arm was coming forward and the official, did he throw his beanbag down? I think this is Crimson Cliffs Mustang football, the second takeaway of the game.
I know Andrus is involved in that. It looks like
McKay Wright, maybe?
Messenger was also in there.
McKay Wright, 34, off the left side, delivers the hit.
Okay.
And then I think he was actually the...
Wow.
He was the guy that got back on top of it, too. So he forced it and recovered it. How about that?
Man, turnovers are definitely playing a part in this game. The Mustangs with their second takeaway against Ridgeline.
82 tackles coming into today for McKay Wright to lead this Mustang defense, and that was a big-time performance on that hit. Knock it loose. Now still Barber going to work offensively, looking to pass, but he's going to run. He's got some room up the middle, and he's going to have an 11-yard gain, and that's a U First Credit Union.
1st down. That was not by design. It was a low snap, Devin. Great job by Steele Barbin to get that ball, pick that ball up off of the turf almost, and then he had to kind of scramble out of the pocket, picks up 11 yards.
1st and 10, Mustangs have the 6-3 lead. Trips to the near sideline. Topalian will come up to the left of Barbin. He'll fake it to him. He'll throw a quick hit or hitch. West brings it in. And a gain of about 4 out to the into the 19, and they're into the Cache Valley Bank red zone.
You know, after that touchdown play to West, the corner over there on the far sideline, giving West a little bit of a room, but that gave him plenty enough time for a little hook route.
Bunch trips. They'll run this one. Topalian tries to bounce it, and not much there. The first to hit him, he's still fighting. First to get there, number 13, Cooper Clark, I believe. He's another young pup, just a 9th grader.
Man, what were you doing as a freshman, Devin?
I was playing football, but not varsity football, Mark.
What was your height and weight?
In high school, I was 5'9",
all right,
160, 165.
You were probably shifty, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a running back safety. I was okay. I wasn't great, but I contributed. Just not my freshman year. We got a Fabulous Freddy's injury timeout down on the field. We'll keep it right here and tell you Fabulous Freddy's has their coupon books now on sale at both Southern Utah locations. They were again voted best in Southern Utah, and they're the best full-service car wash standing by. Don't forget to get your sodas, your cookies, And Ike's Sandwich Shop now open at the Bluff Street Fabulous Freddy's. Who is hurt there, Mark?
I'm trying to get that jersey number. I can't quite see it
They're
yet.
They're going to help him up.
Number 67. That's going to be Stone Hansen.
Yep, but he is getting a little bit of help, but he is putting weight on both legs. So Hansen will come off, and we'll see if he's able to return. And Caden, I know, we'll see if he can get an update on what happened there. I didn't see what happened, Mark, but
I didn't either.
Sometimes down in the trenches, and look, that's Coach Wayne Alofopo that's helping him off the field with one of the staff members for the Mustangs. And it's 3rd down and 6. Ridgeline 3-4 defensive front. 4 receivers set. Adamson, the single receiver, to the bottom of the screen. They look in to run it up the middle to Topalian, and he's going to get it down to the 16. Near the 15, but it's going to be 4th down, and now what do you do?
Boy, this is decision time for Coach. You know, you're in that area where it's kind of a long field goal. They do have a kicker that does have that kind of a leg.
Yeah, it'd be like a 33, 34-yarder.
Yeah.
Certainly makeable, but
for sure.
4th and 3, Coach Alofopo.
Coach wants 6 points. He doesn't want 3.
Going to leave the offense on. Double back set, out of the shotgun is still Barber. Quarterback's going to fake it, throw it, slant. Adamson caught it, broke a tackle, touchdown Mustangs. 4th and 3, and Adamson takes it into the house for the score. That is a 16-yard pitch and catch, and Crimson leads it now 12-3, PAT pending.
Coach Alofopo with the confidence in his senior quarterback and that offense out there, and it paid off, gets him 6 points on the board.
Huge play call, a little bit of a roll of the dice. They got one-on-one coverage. Slant was there. Once he broke the tackle, he scores it from 16 out. Here comes the extra point. And, movement. That'll move it to the 1.5-yard line. And you never like to chase points early, but you did mishandle the snap exchange on the last PAT. And here comes the offense, and still Barber and Jordan. They're going to change their mind here, I think.
I think they're going to go for it as well. And I apologize, I called Steele a senior quarterback. He is a junior quarterback.
Wow, big change there on the penalty. And now this is another aggressive decision made. First half action, 7:39 left to go in the second quarter. And now the offense back out there from the 1.5-yard line after the offsides on Ridgeline, trying to make it a 14-3 lead if they can convert. Adamson, the single receiver at the bottom of the screen. They're going to run it. Bouncing it, and he's tackled. What a tackle. Coming up, there is Owen Monk. Owen Monk going low and taking down Topalian, and it'll stay 12-3. We'll take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, again, 12-3 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. You're listening to the Fan Sports Network coverage on KSL Sports, thefansportsnetwork.com, of the 4A semifinals. Don't go away.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by.
Subaru on Sunland Drive.
Back, Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, and Caden Formaster. We'll see if we can get an update on Stone Hansen in just a second from Caden after this kickoff. But how about the 16-yard touchdown? Barber put a dime on the hands of Boston Adamson, but they decided to go from 2. Don't get it, 12-3. And here comes the kickoff, and Ridgeline needs to find a little something offensively here. Kick is going to be returnable from the 1-yard line, up the middle, and weaving to the right side. He got a little bit of grass. Here comes McFarland. McFarland out across the 40 to the near sideline to the 50, and then he's tackled for the backside in Mustang territory. All right, let's go down to Caden. Caden, what can you tell us about what happened to Stone Hansen?
So Stone Hansen looked like it was a bit of a knee injury. They brought in a bench for him, sat him down, checked out the knee, and said, all right, you're good. Walk it around, get some water. He's walking around right now, and it looks like he definitely has a possibility returning back to this game.
All right, we'll have to wait because the Mustang defense out there, those offensive linemen, they're tough. It's a state semifinal game. If he can come back, I would guess he would be probable to return. He was putting weight on both legs walking off the field, but we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, what a great kick return from the one in the Mustang territory by McFarland. He's been everywhere. Ashton McFarland.
Again, the strategy of kicking the ball short. Now, that did go to about the 2 or 3 yard line, but the strategy of kicking it and letting them have a play is just beyond me. I think the strategy should be kick it through the end zone, make them go 80 yards.
Now we've got, the official said something. We don't have our referee mic'd up. Apologize.
Hey, guys, the scoreboard is being finicky over here, so they're trying to get the scoreboard back up and running.
Okay, thank you, Caden. Yeah, the scoreboard is down, and they've got just the UHSAA championship banner on the scoreboard here. We're at SUU, home of the 3A, 4A semifinals earlier today. Canyon View bowed out, and they lose to Juab, and then Morgan won, so it'll be Morgan-Juab for all the marbles next week. And now they're trying to maybe call upstairs and trying to figure out what they need to do. Obviously, they can keep the clock down on the field if they have to. What was their 6?
There she's coming.
7:25 on the clock. There it comes. You're right. That's good news. Somebody bumped the wrong button maybe in the press box.
I've seen that happen before, Devin.
I'm just guessing. I don't know. Gives us a chance to thank some of our great sponsors. Holbrook Asphalt brings you our replay. Also, the big score dessert. If we get over 25 points scored in this game, everybody go to the St. George Yogurtland tonight for 5 ounces free frozen yogurt for everybody.
And let's just book it.
Here's the run, and Ripstein's going to take it straight ahead inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Going to be a pickup of only 2, though. Rowan Williams.
Again, both of these offenses really, they want to establish the run, and I love their commitment, both of them, to the run. I think that will open up passing lanes a little bit later in the game.
3-4 defensive front. 4 receivers set. A fifth as Olsen from the backfield goes into a route, and a big catch over the middle. The hit comes, but he held on. How about the catch from Riddle down near the 29 of the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs?
Beautiful catch. He tucked it as soon as he caught the ball. He knew he was going to be hit. He kind of even braced himself for the hit, and it was a big hit given, too, by the Mustang defense.
Fehi Fanolu with the hit and then gets credit for the tackle, but more importantly, Riddle hangs on to the football, 1st and 10. From the 29 of Crimson, 12-3, Mustangs leading. Run it, J.T. White. Good push off the left side, down inside the 23-yard line. And that's a nice gain of almost 7 on 1st down.
You know, we had the perfect angle to see that hole open up between the left tackle and the left guard. It wasn't long, but that window was there, and he just shot right through it for that gain.
Well, number 51, Easton Hammond, you can see him, the left guard. He is a freshman. He is a monster ninth grader. Austin Sorensen, left tackle, is a junior. We'll see if they run left again, or maybe they'll let Nate Dolly throw here. Nope, it'll be a run to J.T. White. He's going to have the 1st down on the outside as he takes it into the Cache Valley Bank red zone near the 18-yard line. Another 1st down for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, again, establishing the run here. I love how patient they've been with the run. And I got to tell you, Devin, I love watching lefties play quarterback. I love watching lefties on the bump, too, in baseball.
Yeah.
But, man, watching him throw the ball is quite a treat. And the fact that he's a freshman, very surprising.
Dolly going to run it up the middle. White going to get down to the 15-yard line. And that's about a 4-yard pickup. So the ground game starting to get a little bit bigger chunk. And now 2nd down.
And again, this play action, though, you've got to be aware of the shots down the field. I feel they're just kind of setting it up and setting it up.
Run again. White bounces outside. Sweeten can't get there. Just stretch it out, but he's going to be taken down right near the 10-yard line. And tackle made by Phillips. And it'll be third and short. Third and a long 2, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And substitutions. There goes Jordan Phillips, who helped make that stop off the field for a quick breather.
Now, I would imagine that Coach Cox has probably made up his mind if this is a one-play or a two-play down here. And this would be a great time. If he's decided he's going to go for it on 4th down, this would be a great time to take a shot in the end zone.
We got a Fabulous Freddy's timeout. We're going to keep it right here on the Fan Sports Network. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Caden Formaster hanging out with you here. Midway, actually later stages of the first half. Just 4 minutes and 25 seconds left until halftime. Let's check in and thank some of our Ridgeline sponsors that have been bringing you Ridgeline football all season long. Adams Wealth Advisors, thank you very much to Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, The Logo Shop, Napa Auto Parts, Planet Fitness, Castellite, of course, Castellite, one of the great sponsors, as well as Cache Valley Auto Care. So thanks to some of the great Ridgeline sponsors on 104.5 The Ranch. Of course, if you're up in Cache Valley watching this game, weren't able to come down, thanks for tuning in. We got you covered in multiple spots. You can watch this game. So if you're listening on radio, you want to watch this game, I'm sure the link's on CacheValleyDaily.com. The link to watch is on our website, thefansportsnetwork.com. And, of course, appreciate our partnership. And we're hosting everything on KSLSports.com. Hand off to White out of the timeout. And he's going to be right near the sticks. It's going to be close. Needed about the 8, and I think he's going to get the 8. And I think it's going to be first and goal, Ridgeline.
Yep, it is, for sure. I really thought that was a great time to really take a shot in the end zone. You know, Crimson had a similar situation down here where it was 4th and 2. I know that was a 3rd down play, but I'm sure Coach Cox had decided if he was going to go for it or not, if they made it. I just thought that was a great time to take a shot in the end zone.
I think you want 7 here. I mean, you're down 12-3.
No, I agree. I totally agree.
I think you're right, though. I think if they wouldn't have got it, I think they would have went quick and tried to go ahead and roll the dice and get it on 4th down. Play clock at 20. Ridgeline staring over.
But, hey, Kate, Devin, I'm always up here questioning coaches, though. It's always easier up here.
So first and goal, man in motion, that's Olsen. They fake it to him, and Dolly will keep it, and a 3-yard gain down to the 5-yard line. 2nd down and goal. That's a productive 3-yard play.
Yeah, that was definitely a designed quarterback draw on that play for Dolly.
Defensive line for Crimson. Good look there as you got Caden Haas and Rowan Williams and Scott Nyson. It's a big 3-man front, very athletic, tall front. Looks like they're going to bring Brayson Phillips up here, more of a goal line look. Crowding the line, expecting run. They're going to throw, though. Dolly's rolling to the left. Here comes the pressure. He throws it away and lives to fight on 3rd down. Probably good decision there. Nobody was open, and nobody was really in the vicinity.
No, that was definitely shut down by the Mustang defense. There was nobody over there. I don't know if he was blocked out of the play or what happened, but there were really no receivers over there. And it looks like we're having issues on the scoreboard again over here.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how much time's left here in the first half. 3:08. It's kind of coming back on board right now.
Here we go. 3rd and goal. Mustangs, for the moment, leading 12-3. Important red zone trip. Deep in the Cache Valley red zone. They're going to throw over the middle slant route. Oh, no, it's actually looked like he wanted to go to the slant. The receiver was going the slant. He threw it to the outside and nobody home. Little miscommunication there, perhaps.
And I think that slant was there, Devin.
I thought maybe Olsen on the slant, but he tries to go to the outside, and now they will settle for the field goal here. 4th and about 6. And this will be a chip shot, just about a 23-yard field goal attempt.
And that will give the Mustang offense about 3 minutes to work with as they get the ball to close out this first half.
Trace Dustin grabs the snap. The hold is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And it is now 12-6. So Ridgeline cuts the lead in half, and we'll take a quick 30-second timeout. 12-6 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Mustangs with the lead, and they'll get the football right after this quick break.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit HolbrookAsphalt.com to discover more.
Fabulous.
So Young connects on the field goal, just a 22-yarder. Aaron Young's second field goal of this game, and just 2:59 left before halftime. 12-6. Mustangs leading in this Region 10 versus Region 11 showdown. Mustangs the overall number 1 seed. Ridgeline comes in the 4 seed here in the state 4A semifinals. Young puts a right foot into it. Going to be returnable from about the 10. And here comes West. West jumps to the outside. Now continues to try to get to the boundary. Flags flying in, and hit comes, and he is driven out of bounds near the 30.
Yeah, nice return by West to get it out past the 30-yard line, or right near the 30-yard line. We'll see what this penalty is all about. And then the offense will, Steele Barbin will be running the 2-minute offense, I'm sure.
Coming up, we'll have the Rally Stop halftime show. It will be holding against the Mustangs, so that will back them up. I want to thank El Salvador Los Primos, another Ridgeline partner, helping us out with the simulcast today. Advanced Integrated Systems, Best in Northern Utah gold medal winner. D&D Auto and Salvage, Les Olson Company, New Horizons Beauty College. Some more Ridgeline sponsors. We thank you for your continued support of Ridgeline coverage. Mustang's going to roll right. Barbin looking to throw. Sets his feet, throwing on the run. Puts a little zip on it right into the hands of Ty West. First down and more, a pickup of almost 15.
Boy, beautiful play executed by this Mustang defense or offense. Barbin just rolled out to his right. West with the perfect break. It was that you couldn't have done it any nicer.
3 catches, 59 yards already, and a touchdown for Ty West. Of course, he had the 39-yard touchdown, the only big Jason Baum of the game so far. Jason Baum, Bay Equity Home Loans. And a run in a good little crease, and Topalian runs through it, starts to try to go wide, and he does get the 40.
Yeah, a little delayed draw right there that really kind of sucked that defensive line up the field. Beautiful play by the Mustangs.
Mustangs going quick. Under 2.5 left in the first half. Run to the right side. Topalian now back to the middle. Spins off a would-be tackle, and that'll be enough for the first down out across the 45-yard line. You First Credit Union.
First down, and he is just a little pinball back there running that, running the rock, just bouncing off defenders.
Now out of the gun, here is Steele Barbin, the junior quarterback, has set every passing record at Crimson already this season, and he's still a junior. And that one, though, he overshot. Straight streak route. Ty West had a step or two on the defender, and Barbin led him too far.
He did. He had about 2 yards on the defender. If he puts that ball on the mark, West is just walking into the end zone for 6.
Appreciate our crew tonight. Got Colin back in St. George, producing on the radio side. Dusty Allen, our video producer tonight. Got Lacey and Paul running cameras. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Caden Formaster. We're going to be going down for some coaches' comments at the half with Caden in just a minute, but still, 2-minute drill. They'll run it to Palian. Nothing there. Maybe got a yard. They strung that out nicely.
Yeah, the offense is going to have to pick up the pace just a little bit. There's 1:45 left here in the first half. I'd like to see just a little bit more urgency from this Mustang offense.
So here we go. 3rd down and 8, just shy of midfield. Mustangs need to convert here. Barbin going to throw, steps up in the pocket, hit, and he is going to be sacked back at the 40-yard line off that right edge, and they get to Barbin. I thought maybe he'd step up a little more in the pocket, but he kept his eyes downfield, took the hit. Coming in, number 23, J.T. White will get credit for that sack.
Yep, I was just going to say, guess who, Devin? And you already called it. It was number 23, J.T. White, all over the place.
Big-time play right there. And that is huge. I mean, Crimson, started that drive. It looked like maybe they were going to get down there and get at least a field goal perhaps. And then, boom, couple big defensive plays. And all of a sudden now Ridgeline should get the ball back, maybe with decent field position. We'll see if Coach Cox wants to be aggressive or if he's content with a minute 18 to go into the locker room. Remember, Crimson kicked off, so Crimson will get the football first in half number 2. And again, coming up, we'll have the Rally Stop halftime show. We'll get you some scores from around the state. We'll get you some college football scores, break down the statistics. Here comes the punt for the Mustangs. McFarland and Olsen, I believe, are back deep to return. And here is the snap and the kick. A pretty good kick. It'll land at the 25 and a fair catch on a bounce call at the 19.
Yeah.
Don't see a fair catch on a bounce call very often.
Well, now Ridgeline's going to have the ball, and they're going to have their 1-minute offense inserted into the game. See if they can't go down, at least get in field goal position. That would be a big 3 points for Ridgeline.
Yeah, you got to credit Messenger. Didn't want to kick it too deep. He's trying to get a little more roll there, but he does pin Ridgeline inside the 20. And now the Mustangs defense awaits. They kind of talk on the sideline, race over. 1:10 when we start this 1st and 10 snap here. Left in the second quarter. Crimson leading Ridgeline 12-6. Quick pass outside, caught. And not much there after the catch. Short gain.
Yeah, they picked up 5 on that play.
You'll give them 5, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Carson Cox made the reception, but you just don't want to give anything behind you right now if you're the Mustangs.
Those safeties have to be – they got 2 deep safeties right now. You cannot let a player get beyond you. We stress this from the 3rd grade level. If you're playing safety, do not let a player get beyond you.
Mustangs look like they're going to bring pressure here. Now they back out of it. Blitz a 4th guy, but they swing it out of the backfield quick. Olsen right near the sticks. Probably's got enough for a first down. Clock will stop momentarily to move the chains.
Yeah, get another 5-yard play there. Like you said earlier, though, Devin, you'll give them those 5-yard plays. You just can't let them break free.
Ridgeline does have 2 timeouts remaining. Or do they have all 3, Mark?
You know what? I'm not.
Crimson took one defensively, but I don't think Ridgeline's actually taken one now that I think about it. Throwing, Dolly, going to be hit and dropped. Nice and got to him, I believe. Yeah, no, it was number 99, Caden Hawes.
Yeah, Caden Hawes had him had his ankles.
Yeah, Hawes is the guy that'll get credit for that sack. He hung on for dear life, didn't he? You're exactly right.
Yes, he did.
Well, flex for the fans after the sack by Hawes. And now 32 and ticking. I think 2nd down and long.
It looks like Ridgeline might just kind of be using the time here and getting into halftime.
Yep, probably don't want to punt and risk that.
Yep.
So you're just going to let this clock run all the way down. They are going to throw quick out route. It's caught and out of bounds. Catch made again by number 3 of the Riverhawks. That's Carson Cox. Going to be a fun kid to watch on the basketball court here coming in less than a couple weeks.
I saw him play a little basketball last year in preseason.
Yeah.
And he was definitely bigger, taller, and thicker than his older brother.
I don't know if the shooting ability is quite like Caden.
No, it wasn't.
It might be there. Give him another year.
Yeah.
Just a junior still. They'll run it here on 3rd down, right up the middle, back to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll do it for the first half.
Yeah.
Unless Crimson wants to take a timeout and force a punt, I think they got the lead and they get the ball. So I think they're content to go into the break up 12-6. So the first half flew by. We'll see if we can get the 3rd member of our crew, Caden Formaster, with Coach Wayne Alofa-Post. We'll keep it right here for just a second as we've got Caden. Let's go down to Caden with Coach Wayne. His thoughts on the first half. Caden, go ahead.
All right, I'm here with Coach Wayne Alofa-Post, Crimson Cliffs High School. Coach, so far through the first half, you guys are getting it done offensively. You scored twice. What are you guys doing that they're doing right?
We're just taking advantage of some things that they do defensively, trying to force their hand to change some of the things they like to do. And so we're trying to get them out of it, and we're forcing it. They're starting to back off a little bit on some of the things, and they've switched some things up. So they're starting to play into that. And then defensively, they show so many formations. We're trying to show so many coverages and fronts back.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's Caden Formaster down there with Coach Wayne Olofabo. First-year head coach, but not a new coach by any means. He's from the Coach Blaine Munker's coaching tree. Won state championships over there. Him and Coach Andy Stokes, who's now the head coach at Tentview, both came. Coach Barry, who will coach the Desert Hills team, also spent a couple seasons and won a state championship with Coach Blaine Munkers. But it is halftime. When we come back after that 2-minute pit stop, as we send you to the Rally Stop halftime show. On the scoreboard here at intermission, 12-6, Mustangs lead the Riverhawks from the 4A state semifinal championships.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Guest Valley Bank, mountains away. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this week.
Stop. So come on in, grab some gas, your favorite soda, and something to eat. They have all your post-game celebration needs. Rally Stop. Swing on in today.
Yeah, we are back. Glad you're with us here from Eccles Coliseum, Cedar City, Utah. Of course, T-Birds are not in Cedar City. They're down in St. George right now, getting ready for a 6 o'clock kickoff tonight with the Utah Tech Trailblazers. Got some halftime entertainment, looks like, by the Mustang drill team down on the field. So you can enjoy that. But let's recap the scoring. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, third member of our crew, Caden Formaster tonight. Glad you're with us here on the live stream or on the radio side. We are the Fan Sports Network out of St. George, and glad you're with us. Well, it was Ridgeline that scored first. 27-yard field goal, good by Aaron Young. They took the 3-0 lead, and that was it through the first quarter. And really, both these teams were trying to run the ball, and not much success there in the first quarter initially running the football, Mark.
No, but I did love their commitment to it, and it paid off. Both offenses, it paid off with their commitment to the run. You know, with Ridgeline, J.T. White ended up with 8 attempts, 31 yards. Ripstein, 7 attempts, 26 yards. And over on the Crimson Cliff side, Topalian, 10 attempts, 32 yards. And Steele Barbin with a couple of draws and a couple of scrambles. Only has 4 yards. But I do love the commitment to the run because that will help out these passing games later on in the game.
Yeah, but it was the passing that got the second quarter scoring going. Steele Barbin, moments after he did not connect with Tyler West on a deep shot. He connects on a Jason Baum Bay Equity home loan, 39-yarder over the top of the touchdown. But the point after snap, trickled back to the holder. And by the time they got the snap down, the kicker had lost all his momentum, and it was no good. Basically kicked it into the line. And so it was 6-3 at that point, 2 seconds into the second quarter. Then with about 7:39 left in the second quarter, Steele Barban goes to work again and throws the 16-yard touchdown. And it was an offsides that allowed Coach Wayne, instead of kicking, to change his mind and go for 2, and they didn't get it. And that's why we're at 12-6, because a 22-yard field goal by Aaron Young again kind of caps the first half scoring. So 6-point ball game here at the break.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm just a little bit surprised about is Jordan Eaton with only 1 reception. Yes, that 1 reception is a touchdown. I really feel that he's going to see the ball just a little bit more here in the second half. He is such a dynamic playmaker and such a nightmare matchup that I really feel that Coach is going to look his way just a little bit more this second half.
Yeah, he had one high. He tried to tip to himself, couldn't. He had a couple targets there, 3 targets. But just the 1 catch. And I got to apologize, I guess, because I thought Boston Adamson scored the touchdown on the slant route, Mark. But you're saying it was Jordan Eaton that scored that touchdown?
It was. That's what the stats are showing here, is that Jordan Eaton had that 16-yard touchdown.
We'll have to check with Caden. Caden was down there field level and double-check that and see which way it went down. We'll see. Either way, Steele Barban has 2 touchdown passes. That much we can promise you. Not a bad first half for Nate Dolly. He goes 10 out of 14, 59 yards, though. Just nothing behind the defense. Did have that 1 interception, and Crimson did have another McKay Wright sack, forced fumble, and then McKay Wright jumps on the fumble. So they got 2 takeaways, which you consider, if you're Coach Cox going in and talking to Ridgeline, you're like, guys, we're down 6 and we had 2 turnovers. And we're only down 6. I mean, you'll take that if you're Ridgeline, I think, at this point in time.
Oh, absolutely. And you got to think, too, that both of these coaches have great messages going in so that their team can kind of come out positive. You've got that message by Coach Cox. He's delivering probably as we talk right now. Then you've got the message by Coach Alafopo saying, hey, we are winning the turnover battle. We are winning this game in points as well. It could possibly be more, but we're winning the turnover battle. Let's go out, keep doing things in the second half. Let's just do it a little bit better.
JT White, you look at some of the Ridgeline stats, 4 tackles, really good job there. Noah Kakanu also with 4 tackles. Cooper Clark had 3. Ashton McFarland had 2. Tanner Paskett had 1.5 tackles, but 3 assists. So you look at total tackles, and he was doing a nice job there. Just kind of a concerted team effort. Nobody really making every single play, but both these defenses did bring some big hits and a lot of intensity in the first half. You look at some of the statistics. Again, Steele Barban, 8 out of 12, 95 yards to 2 touchdowns. And you also had Rowan Williams, 5.5 tackles. He leads all defensive players in this game at the half. Jordan Phillips had 3.5. Jay Sweeten, Brock Baker have 3. But, McKay Wright with the sack, the strip, and the fumble recovery. And then Braden Smith with the interception. Those guys made some big plays for the Mustangs, and that's why they've got the 6-point lead here inside of our Rally Stop halftime show. We're at the break, 12-6 our score. And, really, it'll be interesting to see if they turn Barban loose a little bit more. You could tell both these teams did want to run the football, but I don't know. It's tough. These defensive backs had a pretty good performance in the first half for both teams.
Both, and we mentioned that a number of times in the first half where the corners and the corners were step for step on these receivers. It didn't matter what team that we were talking about. So the corners have played well, but look for this, again, the commitment to the run. It's going to pay off later in the game where you're going to get a corner just hesitate just for a second on play action, and you might see a West or a Criddle just get loose for the wide receivers for the offense. So, again, commitment to the run is going to pay off. They're just staying patient. I absolutely love that.
The trick play
Yeah.
Ridgeline ran one. It was a short completion back to the quarterback, Nate Dawley, from Olsen. They ran it again, though, and they had to settle for a field goal early in that first drive because he was wide open in the end zone, but the throw was short-hopped, and it was incomplete.
Both of us discussed that play, and both of us agreed that that play was definitely there. Again, if he throws that ball a second earlier and a yard farther, the Ridgeline has 6 points on the board as opposed to 3.
All right, let's do this. Let's take another timeout. This is the Rally Stop halftime show. Here you're going to see the play we're just talking about. Olsen, just a little bit short. If that catch is made, maybe a little bit different score here at the break. But again, on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, Crimson Cliffs leading 12-6 over Ridgeline in the 4A state semifinal. Stay with us here on The Fan.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing.
Hey, glad you're with us here. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave. Our privilege, as well as Caden Formaster, to bring you the 4A state semifinals Rally Stop halftime show. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in on Cache Valley Daily, all our Ridgeline friends. Hi, everybody up there in northern Utah, everybody on KSLSports.com, and then, of course, everybody on our website, thefansportsnetwork.com. And, again, if you're listening, you can go to the website and watch the second half as we're about 2 minutes away from the kickoff. I want to thank some great sponsors. Every touchdown this year is Finley Hyundai, and we got just 2 in the first half. But before we talk more about them, let's go down to Caden Formaster with head coach Cox.
All right, Coach Cox. Halftime, you guys are coming into this one trailing into the second half. What do you tell your guys at halftime?
Really, we just got to stick to the plan. Can't turn the ball over, and then we got to score inside the red zone. Feel like we just got to kind of just keep doing what we're prepared to do, and just make some plays when plays are there to be made.
Very good. Thank you. All right, thanks. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, that's Caden Formaster. Thanks, Caden. And Coach Cox going to take a slow jog back to his team's sideline. And, yeah, the turnovers were a big storyline in that first half, weren't they, Mark?
Absolutely they were. And, again, if you're a football fan, you know that most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, you win that turnover battle, most of the time you win that game.
Again, thanks to some of our great sponsors, Finley Hyundai. They're feeding a kid for a month for every touchdown all year long. And boy, oh boy, we've been lighting up the scoreboard. Thank you, Finley Hyundai. Also appreciate Jersey's Mikes. We'll be naming our sub of the game. Appreciate the Bear Paw. And Nets on Fire. Don't have any local score updates yet. As soon as Utah Tech SUU starts here at the top of the hour, we'll be able to get you some. And then, of course, we do have a second game at 7 o'clock scheduled kickoff as Desert Hills will play Mountain Crest. Winner of this game will meet the winner of that game. And it'll either be next Friday at Rice Eccles at 6:30. that is the scheduled time. But there's been a lot of talk about whether it would get moved or not. Well, we don't know. Nothing official until we see who's in the championship. But there was a buzz around St. George, people wondering if Crimson and Desert Hills win, would they move it back here to SUU or even down to Utah Tech? We don't know yet. If it was Mountain Crest Ridgeline, would they leave it at Rice Eccles? Probably. I think it's a treat for the kids to go play at the University of Utah. Although you never sell that venue out, it's such a cool thing for the kids to go on the road with their teammates and make some memories that'll last a lifetime.
It does. I'm sure it is a great memory, but yes, that stadium is so big. You know, you'll get a couple thousand people in there, and it looks like there's 20.
Right.
It just
and you could pack this place with 10,000 fans, and it would look like a sellout.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly right.
Well, and then you put fans and kids either going north or going south on the road. You don't get as many tickets sold at the gate. There's all these factors, and they'll figure it all out. But right now, we got a second half of a football game. What adjustments would you make if you're Coach Wayne Alafapo for Crimson, Mark?
You know, the only adjustment that I would make, it would be on the offensive side of the ball, and that would be more targets for Jordan Eaton. Open this offense playbook up just a little bit more. You're not really successful running the ball, but you have been committed to it. I like that. Use a little play action, go downfield. Let's open this offense up just a little bit.
You heard Coach Cox say, hey, turnovers, got to continue to do what we're capable of, but the turnovers did slow his team down, and they got to kick off. So we'll see Steele Barber in the offense out there. I know you mentioned the stats say that Jordan Eaton has a touchdown. It was Boston Adamson, as we called it. I'm 99.9% sure that Boston Adamson had the touchdown reception, number 11 for the Mustangs, and then Ty West had the other one.
Yes, and I'm not 99.9% sure, Deb. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say it's 100% Adamson on that touchdown pass.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, if I can chime in, it definitely was Boston. I was down here watching it, and I distinctly remember number 11 being called.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 11 and 4 don't even look alike. Single digit versus 2-1. I mean, we might miss something once in a while, but we didn't miss that one, Mark. We were on it. Caden verified it. Thank you, Cato. Caden standing by with some analysis from down on the field. You heard from Coach Wayne, you heard from Coach Cox, and now it's time for these kids to go settle this thing. And you dream about this, Mark. You dream about being in the second half of a game with a chance to make a play for your team and get to a state championship game where you have dreams about winning it, right? That's the goal every year for a lot of these teams around the state of Utah.
Absolutely, and you're looking forward to making more memories next week. That's what this game's all about, is moving on to next week to face either Mountain Crest or Desert Hills.
All right, let's do it. Second half, put 12 minutes on the Nets on Fire second half clock, building champions on and off the court. And, of course, the basketball season will be right around the corner, and we've got big plans to bring you at least 3 high school basketball games per week to our friends and fans around southern Utah. We know what you want. You want more local sports talk, and we will deliver that. We promise Young will kick it off, and we are underway. Second half will be returnable from the 2. It's bobbled and dropped. Picks it up. Here comes Tyler West. He's going to jump to the outside, and shoestring tackle made it, and he doesn't even get it out across the 16-yard line. So not a great situation there to start the second half for the Mustangs. They'll be inside their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, Steele Barber's going to come out and kind of be deep in his own side of the field, so he's got his work cut out for him. Let's see if the offense opens this up a little bit, or if they're going to stay committed to the run.
We'll see if we can get over 25 points and get the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert for all our listeners and viewers in St. George, so you can get that 5 ounces free yogurt after the game. Let's go pistol, but they don't usually run pistol. Now they jump to the right of Barbin. Topalian is going to get a play-action fake, and he's going to throw it, and that's Jordan Eaton. And Eaton's going to take it out across the 25-yard line. That is a pickup of 10 on the spot. That's U First Credit Union.
First down, and to my target, Jordan Eaton. Making me look good down there, Coach.
Yeah, Eaton needs to eat a little more. They got to get him some more looks. I think that was probably by design. They'll run this one off the left side. A nice little burst and a pickup of about 7. And still pushing and fighting for yards was McCord Christiansen. He'll take it out to the 33-yard line.
He did a great job of picking his times to accelerate on that run.
McCord just 2 receptions for 11 yards in the first half, as they'll go up top again. It's batted down. But he did run one carry and got nothing in the first half. So McCord really hasn't got anything going on the ground. That was obviously his longest run. And then that second down pass batted down.
Yeah, Tanner Paskett got his big paw up in the air to knock that Barbin pass down.
So now you got a 3rd and 2 situation. 11-16 on the third quarter clock. Just getting things going. 12-6. If you're just tuning in, Crimson has the lead over Ridgeline. Out of the gun, Barbin has the snap. He's going to run it. And it's going to be Christiansen out to the 40, first down and more. A pickup of about 6 yards, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, again, McCord, Christiansen really picking his place there. He put his foot in the ground, made a cut that almost broke some ankles.
New set of downs for the Mustangs. Coach Wayne Alafapo, first-year head coach, but boy, does he have a ton of experience. What a great hire when Coach Tate took an admin job in the offseason. Barbin pocket collapses. Now he's going to tuck. Now he's going to run out to midfield and gives himself up, protecting himself a little bit. Maybe could have got a little more out of that run, but instead says, you know what, I'll take another U First Credit Union first down.
Yeah, that extra 2 yards wasn't worth it. Again, they have bigger fish to fry, hopefully to get into next week. And you want your starting quarterback for that game next week, Devin, if you can get
Did you see the hit Cooper Clark put on Jordan Eaton at the end of that play? He delivered a hit on Eaton. Looked like Eaton was going to go block, and Clark instead blocked him to the ground.
Wow.
They'll run it, and it's bottled up. He does get a little daylight and turn a negative play into a gain of 1. But, again, well defended. And J.T. White, I think the guy that made the tackle.
J.T. White everywhere on this field, whether it's in the Mustang backfield or right along the line of scrimmage. He is everywhere making plays.
It was either him or Paskett. It might have been Tanner Paskett. I couldn't tell if it was 23 or 27. They're both everywhere. Second down and 8. Under 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Mustangs quarterback Steele Barbin running for his life. Jump pass, and it's caught. Boston Adamson. What a play by Steele Barbin. Looked like he was going to be sacked, and then he Tim Tebow's it across his body to a wide open Adamson.
Now, I will tell you, number 10, Owen Monk, he blitzed on the right side, flushed Barbin out, and that's where Barbin's athleticism just took over.
And athleticism on display for sure. Timeout on the field. Brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's Car Wash. We'll take it as well. 9:23 left in the third quarter. Just a 30-second timeout. Mustangs driving after a heck of a play by Barbin. We'll be back here from Eccles Coliseum in Cedar City with more 4A semifinal action.
I'm Bo Brown.
Appliance Wholesalers Plus, a locally owned business, and has been helping Southern Utah with appliance needs for the past.
Our store mission is simple: supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows down.
Didn't miss a thing. They were about to snap the ball. They're not giving us a full timeout, so that's why I'm taking 30-second timeouts. And look like the right side, including the line and receivers for the Mustangs, wanted to get a head start on that pass play.
Yeah, again, just little mistakes like that. It cost them in the first half. Let's see if they can overcome it here in the second half.
Back them up to the 32. 9:23 left in the third quarter. Still a lot of game to go. 12-6 Mustangs lead. Quick hitch, outside complete. Adamson reels it in, and he's taken out of bounds at the 26-yard line, and he gets a pickup of 6.
Yeah, nice little play there. Adamson really been a favorite target of Barbin today for sure. Him and Tyler West.
11-16, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Those are the passing numbers for the junior quarterback, Steele Barbin. who won a state championship back in the spring of this year with the baseball team. And now he's in trouble. Now he's going to see some daylight run up the middle, going all the way to the far side. He's going to tuck, and this time he's going to lunge down inside the 7-yard line to the 6-yard line. First and goal, Mustangs. That is a near 20-yard run by the quarterback, Still Barbin.
I'll tell you what, his pocket presence right there was just perfect. He was he felt that pressure behind him, Devin, decided to go just take off and run, and it certainly paid off. I don't know how he felt that or saw it, but it was behind him.
And now first and goal. Pickup officially, I believe, of 21. 8:24 left on the third quarter clock. Barbin looking for his third passing touchdown. He's got all day. They only rushed 3. He's going to roll left, throw into the back of the end zone, and in and out of the hands of Tyler West. I think there was somebody blocking West's viewpoint to catch that football.
Now, there is a penalty marker on the field.
Holding on the Mustangs.
Well, if you're laying on a defender, is that holding, Devin? Because that's exactly what Connor Ulrich was doing. I was actually watching that play, and I wasn't even watching where the ball went. I was watching Connor Ulrich just lay like a pancake on top of the Ridgeline defender.
To our left, Mountain Crest is now entering the Eccles Coliseum. Of course, just a reminder for our viewers and our radio audience, that'll be game 2 of our double header here on the Fan Sports Network. Desert Hills and Mountain Crest coming up, scheduled 7 o'clock. Now they're backed up first and goal from the 18. They'll run it. Draw play. McCord Christiansen diving back over the pile to the 14-yard line. And he got to pick up a 4, maybe 5 on that dive.
Yeah, nice little play by McCord to pick up that extra yardage.
White started the tackle, but he kind of ran through it and then just leaped over Monk and that pile created by Ridgeline. Largest lead for the Mustangs was 9. Largest lead for the Riverhawks was they scored first and led 3-0. 7:42 left in the third quarter. 12-6 is our current score. Mustangs want more. Barber nowhere to throw. He's going to tuck. He's going to run. He's going to give himself up. And he's going to slide down where the slide started, which will be about the 7-yard line.
Definitely get you within... at the 7-yard line, definitely gets you into where you can run really any play.
I think you put the ball in Barbin's hands, though, here.
I do, too.
7 yards is a lot to pick up on a third down. Now, if you're going to go for it on fourth down, you've already determined that.
Yes, exactly.
You could run here.
Yep.
McCord Christiansen is in the pistol now. He'll go flank. Still Barbin. Twins to either side. 4-man front for the Riverhawks. They rush 4. Over the middle, it's caught. And it is going to be a stop at the 2. Catch made by number 6, Connor Kell. But he couldn't get into the end zone. And now decision time and maybe no hesitation. No hesitation yet. They're leave the offense on.
I think you got to go for it here. You're 4th and 1. You're in the semis.
Connor Kell is coming off. Mason Topalian is going back into the football game.
He trusted his offense earlier.
Play clock down to 15. They haven't even broke the huddle yet. Now they finally break the huddle. Play clock now is down to 10. Double backs out of the gun, still Barbin. Owen Peterson in the slot on the near side. They're going to run it up the middle. McChristiansen diving, didn't get it. He didn't get it. Ridgeline with a huge goal line stand.
He stretched, but they're not going to give it to him.
No, I don't think he broke the plane. That's a stop.
Wow, at the 6-inch line, Devin.
Great tackle. It was the big guy, number 52, just hanging on for the Riverhawks, and that was Dante Bond, and he just hung on and just barely stopped him by inches.
And I did get confirmation from a call earlier on that penalty. I got a confirmation from an official that we know that says, yes, laying on a player is a penalty. So just earlier on.
It must be for a certain amount of time, though, because if you pan-click block somebody and you go 1/1000,
right,
and then you start to kind of roll over, it's got to be a lengthy lay. I think they'll go run it from the shadow of their own end zone, bouncing it to the outside, and it'll get to the 4-yard line, and that's going to be. You'll take that. You don't want any miscues. Yeah. And Will Ripstein, the senior running back, gives them a little bit of room to operate here, and it'll be second down, 6:06 1 and ticking left in the third quarter.
And that could have been one of those deciding factors, too, that Coach Olofopo decided to go for. It was, hey, my defense will have this offense pinned next to the goal line.
Movement. I think it looked like Andrus jumped into the neutral zone and made contact.
That's what they're going to call, Devin.
So it's going to be second down and 3 instead of second down and nearly 8.
That's actually a big 5 yards for sure.
Second half play-by-play brought to you by Luke Udy, Udy and Associates, your local St. George American Family Insurance. 12-6, Mustangs still have the lead. Nobody scored in the second half. We're halfway through the third quarter. They'll run it to J.T. White. White has a crease, and he's going to burst ahead out to the 20-yard line. And a good job on that left side by Dante Bond, Easton Hammond, Austin Sorensen, that left side of that line, making some room for JT to run through.
And what a great job by this Ridgeline offense to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost to at least get it out to the 20-yard line. Now you can open up the playbook a little bit.
And excuse me, Bond is a D lineman, not offensive lineman. He's the guy that made that tackle on the goal line stand. Short run, 2-yard pickup, and that's it. And this Ridgeline team, they're limiting possessions. They have really committed to the run. You look at Nate Dowley's numbers. He has only attempted 14 passes in this game. He's 10 out of 14 for 59 yards. Does have 1 interception. Mason Criddle, 3 catches, 25 yards, leading receiver. They got to get Jackson Olsen the ball a little bit, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. He's your number one guy.
Olsen is in the slot on the Twins' near sideline. For our television audience, he's right by our Region 10 Sports logo. Second down and 8. Looking for Olsen on a little dig route, and it's a catch by Olsen. Hey, on cue, they go to Jackson Olsen.
Boy, sometimes those coaching offensive plays make us look kind of smart up here, Devin.
4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third quarter. 3rd and 2 for Ridgeline's offense. They trail by 6, 12-6. Mustangs hanging on to the lead here, but if nothing else, they have flipped the field position and they've got out of the shadow of the goal. Even if Crimson gets a stop here, you got a chance to flip the field.
Yeah, exactly.
That goal line stand looms large right now, and if the offense can convert here, they can keep rolling right along, try to retake this lead. I feel like the momentum right now is hanging in balance. Rolling, throwing on the run, and it's incomplete. Hit came from both sides, and Jackson Olsen couldn't hang on in 4th and short. And now Ridgeline probably got to punt the football. Yeah. I don't think you gamble here.
No, oh heavens no. Phillips was one of the defenders for the Mustangs in on that play, and he was pumped up after that hit.
Jordan Phillips, you're right. Jordan Phillips came in with 53 tackles. And again, there was, a number of guys, I think 10 Crimson Mustang defenders that have had over 50 tackles on the season. It's a collective group by committee that had no starters back from last year. A little free run there to the quarterback, but Phillips lays off. Here comes Ty West from his own 38. West going to take it out across the 45 to the 50, and he is tackled right at midfield. And Barbin and the offense, great field position.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to put that right on the 50-yard line. So a short field for the Mustangs here for their offense.
And it may be too early in a close game for our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game, but you kind of feel like it is for the Mustang offense and, again, for the Ridgeline defense with just a 1-score differential right now. And we're getting to the latter stages of the third quarter, just 3 minutes and 32 seconds in this third. Left to go. They'll play action pass. Throw to Eaton. Little screen block. Nicely done. Eaton shakes a man. Stiff arms another man. Spins out of a would-be tackle inside the 30. And it is a 23-yard gain on a little screen to Jordan Eaton.
Again, that is why at halftime the keys to the game, one of my keys to the game, was to get number 4 more involved because he is a match-up nightmare. I don't care who you're playing.
Quickly, Mustangs want to go fast here. Barbin, double move, looking for Peterson over the middle. Interception by Monk. Owen Monk with the return to the 30. Monk down the sideline, 35-40. And he's going to be finally taken down. The ball pops out, but I think Ridgeline got back on top of it near the 40-yard line. And that could have been back to Crimson because I think it was fumbled inbounds, but a teammate jumped on it after Monk lost it.
Wow. Devin, as soon as we think one team has the momentum, the other team takes it back. My goodness, what a big play for Ridgeline. Now, there is a penalty marker over on the far sideline around the 31-yard line.
Oh, it's sideline interference on Ridgeline on that return. Probably one of the officials ran into a coach or a player in celebration mode. So that'll back them up a little bit, but post-interception, and that's the first mistake of the day for Steele Barban, the Mustang quarterback.
Yeah, again, you want to win that turnover battle. Crimson had that turnover battle lead going into halftime. Now it's getting a little bit closer with their first giveaway.
Wow, just like that, you had the ball, a great field position. You've already had a goal line stand. This Ridgeline defense is awake and alive and well right now. Let's see if their offense can feed off of the energy their defense has provided them. Dolly looking to throw. Looking to take a shot. Nothing available down the field. Under pressure by Hawes. It's tipped, and it is... Is it caught on a tip? I think so.
What?
Jackson Olsen.
Incredible concentration because I think that ball was tipped on that pass. So incredible concentration for the receiver.
Yeah, Rowan Williams definitely got a mid on it.
Yeah.
T-Bone Marshall makes the tackle, but Olsen was like down on a knee when he made that catch. How about the focus from the senior coming off the collarbone injury? It's kind of been an ongoing issue. He's hurt that collarbone a couple of times. JT White up the middle, breaks to the sideline. He's got some turf in front of him. 40, 35, 30. Pushed out of bounds near the 25. How about JT White making a big run? It's a gain of 32.
And Jay Sweeten with a touchdown saving push out of bounds for the Mustangs.
What a run.
Wow.
Ridgeline's got the momentum humming right now.
No question about that. Now, can the Mustangs stop here or maybe a turnover?
JT White is chewing up chunks of yardage on that run, and now with 2:30 left in the third quarter, Ridgeline trying to take the lead back. Pass caught, outside hit, knocked out of bounds on the reception. Number 80, Hunter Knighton, the freshman tight end. That's his first catch of the night.
You know, Brayson Phillips kind of bit on the running back, the check down on the running back, left his receiver, and that's where Dally went.
How about JT White now? After that, it was actually a 34-yard run. I think I said 32. It was 34. 11 carries, 80 yards now.
He's waking up.
Yep, he's awake. Will they feed him again? He's in the pistol. Dolly, hand signaling, clapping. Now he's going to throw it. Looking over the middle. Caught. Jackson Olsen, touchdown. And Ridgeline has tied this game up 12-12. PAT pending.
This game just got interesting, Devin. Wow.
What a throw by Dolly. On the slant. Separation comes. Olsen was able to angle away from the DB, number 29 of Crimson Cliffs, Braden Smith, who already has an interception in this game, but not that time. Olsen and Dolly connect, and a very important extra point here.
And again, that's the momentum change with the interception, and they turned it into 6 points, maybe 7.
Here comes the snap, the hold, the kick. It won't count. The kicker faked the kick. Aaron Young stopped and held off from kicking. I would have took a practice kick there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Offsides on the Mustangs.
Now Ridgeline might have a decision.
I don't think so. I think you take the lead.
You take the lead.
I think so. Young has already kicked 2 field goals.
Okay.
He's proven he's been really accurate. I think you just take the lead here. A lot of game left. 2:19 left after that touchdown. Nate Dolly to Jackson Olsen. Now Olsen's all of a sudden been the focal point. He's got 6 catches, 35 yards, and that score moments ago. Play clock down to 6. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick. It's good. We'll take the timeout. 2:19 to go in the third quarter. 13-12. Ridgeline a 1-point lead over Crimson on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
6390 Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, welcome back on the Fan Sports Network. If you're listening on 93.1 in St. George, you can go watch the remainder of this game. Got 2:19 left in the third quarter on the fansportsnetwork.com, KSLsports.com, or CashValleyDaily.com. We got the links up everywhere. We're excited to bring you statewide 4A football coverage, and we'll have Game 2, Desert Hills Mountain Crest, coming up. But this is going to look like an exciting finish as Ridgeline has retaken the lead 13-12. Here's the kickoff by Aaron Young. It's returnable. Short kick taken at the 11. Here comes Tyler West. West is going to get out across the 25. Makes a man miss. He breaks free. 30, 35, 40. The kicker to beat. West is going to be past the kicker to the 40, to the 30. And Ty West is going to go 90 yards for the house call. And Crimson is back in front just like that. How about Tyler West?
Devin, I don't even know how to break down that play. He was down. He was going to be down over here at the 30-yard line. Somehow he spun out of that group of tacklers and just broke it loose right there on our Holbrook asphalt replay. My goodness, and now the momentum swings again, Devin.
Young did everything he could, laid out at about the 40-yard line, but West too fast. The diving would-be touchdown-saving tackle does not come, and now they're going to go for 2. So now they're going to go for 2 and try to push it back up to 7.
Yeah, and that's smart.
Yeah, you know, chasing points can be dangerous business.
It can, but I do like this call. I really do.
If you get it, yes, indeed, I agree. And I like the confidence Coach Wayne's showing in his offense. Here comes Barber, and he puts McCord Christiansen to the right. He's going to throw to the left, and it's going to be open. And Boston Adamson with 1 and then 2 toes down, and the 2-point conversion is good, and it's 20-13. How about that throw for the 2-point conversion? He got both of them down, Mark.
Yeah, that would have been good in the end. My goodness, man, I thought the game got interesting a little bit a few minutes ago. Now the game is really interesting.
Woo! Catch our breath and keep it right here. Gives us a chance to some of our great sponsors. Morgan Pest Control, Appliance Wholesalers Plus, AWP, the playmakers in the appliance business. And, of course, complete kitchens, laundry sets, washers, dryers. At AWP, we'll select the AWP Playmaker Player of the Game. Let's go down to the third member of our crew, Caden Formaster. Caden, what a return by Tyler West.
Man, Tyler West, he was standing right in front of me when I was over there on the sideline. He ran right into the back of a bunch of defenders, found a way to slip out of it, had a hand on his jersey, took it again to that far side and ran away with it. An amazing return there by Tyler West and the 2-point conversion to Boston Adamson.
You know, also, we're going to be selecting, thank you, Caden, our Hearst Ace Hardware Player of the Game. How about Ty West, our leading candidate? He's got the kickoff return, plus he's got a touchdown reception from 39 yards out. He has been an impact player and has been on fire. Kickoff is going to go into the end zone for the touchback. So the Riverhawks, after they stole the momentum, they had the lead, their first lead since in the first quarter. And then West goes and retakes it for the Mustangs on the 90-yarder. It looked like he was catching it right around the 10-11. I'm going to call it a 90-yarder. What did you see? About the same, Mark?
It was long. No, I'm with you on that, Deb. It was around the 10-yard line. Certainly count that.
Official stats say 89, so we're right there. The momentum was coming forward.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, yard. Who cares? He scored the touchdown, right?
And let's see if this defense can carry that momentum out there onto the field against this Ridgeline offense now.
All this action, and we still have 2 minutes, 2 seconds left in the third quarter. Throw over the middle to Olsen, off his hands, incomplete. That was open.
That was, and kind of a tip as well where that could have been intercepted. You've got to be careful on that. You don't want to have a turnover this deep on your own side of the field.
Olsen's a guy that has the speed to burn you if you're a man. He can find pockets against the zone, and, you know, make a quick move and make you miss. Like, he can hurt you no matter what defense the secondary is running. We'll see if they go back to him. 6 catches on, I think, 10 targets for Jackson Olsen, the senior receiver. Man in motion. They're looking. They're going to go out route. It's caught. Nice catch on the boundary made by Graham Livingston, the freshman receiver, who's got a bright future. That's a great route.
Yeah, the Mustangs only rushed 3. They dropped 8 back into coverage. We'll see if they continue to do that or if they still want to continue to make that freshman quarterback a little uncomfortable.
1:51 left in the third quarter, and it's 20-13 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Ridgeline, though, trying to drive down and maybe tie this game. There's a run up the middle, and it's a pickup of about 5 yards out to the 39.
Yeah, and again, they only rushed 3. They did have a spy on Dally, so that's why he didn't get too far down the field. Again, a nice little pickup of 5 yards, but I'm sure the Mustangs, they'll give that up right now to move forward to this fourth quarter.
Here comes the play. Nate Dolly growing up right before our eyes. The freshman quarterback not playing like a freshman right now. Looking. Dumps it underneath and maybe just throwing that away because the defender was coming and charging hard was number 42, Brayson Phillips.
Yeah, he did come on a blitz. They rushed 3 originally. He came on the blitz. And that did make the freshman quarterback get rid of that ball. And Olsen wasn't open. So
Scott Nyson, who had 9 sacks in the first 6 games of the season, then got nicked up and missed 3 or 4 games, just came off. They're going to give him a breather. So 3rd and 5 for Ridgeline. They trail by 7, 20-13 with 1:06 left in the third quarter.
Kind of a big play here. You do want to answer that 7 points, actually 8 points.
Dolly looking and hit, and the ball pops out, and the fumble is recovered by the Mustangs. Again, another sack strip, the 3rd takeaway of the game, and the 2nd that's happened just like that. And I'll tell you what, Dolly never saw it coming. Caden Haas just leveled the boom.
And then Parker Andrus was able to jump on that ball. Looks like there's a sideline infraction against the Mustangs.
Wow. What a hit by Haas.
Oh, my goodness.
And they're going to get him. I'll back him up a little bit.
I don't know if that
celebrating
was
a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just a little excessive celebration. Coach Alafopo doesn't like the call.
So the 90-yard house call by Ty West. And you're up 20-13. And now, how about this? Hawes with a vicious blindside hit. Of course, it's not a blindside hit if you're not blocking. They've cracked on that rule. But when you got the quarterback looking out to the left and he comes and just hits you in the back with he never saw that coming.
No, never did. The left-handed quarterback did not see him coming at all. Clean hit. Parker Andrus had the know-abouts and the whereabouts to jump on that ball. Here we are, Mustang ball.
1st and 10, Crimson. Quick throw outside, Eaton. Eaton gets a block, trying to break a tackle. He fumbled it, and it's loose, and Eaton got back on top of it at joint possession. I think Eaton will get it.
Yep, they're holding up 2nd down.
Yeah, and almost wrestled away there by number 5, Max Baer. That ball definitely came out.
It did, and you can hear the coaching reaction from the press box next to us.
Well, they both got it. And then once I think Eaton heard the referee say Mustang ball, he let go.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it looked like obviously Ridgeline came out of the pile with it, but you could see they both had simultaneous possession. Bouncing to Pallion, not much there. He'll fall forward to the 25 and pick up 2, and it'll be 3rd and 2. Crimson leading 20-13. That might be the last play of the quarter. I don't think they're going to let the clock tick down. We've played 3 quarters, 1 possession game on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Crimson 20, Ridgeline 13. Stay with us. 4th quarter coming up when we come back on the Fan Sports Network and our live stream coverage on KSL.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Put four fingers in the air. We haven't settled anything. The Mustangs lead 20-13. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave up in the booth, Caden Formaster down on the field. And thanks for watching or listening to 4A State Semifinal football here from Eccles Coliseum on the campus of Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Spin move off the handoff. Topalian cannot get out of a shoestring tackle by Owen Monk.
Boy, decision time here.
Monk again came in leading the Ridgeline Riverhawks in tackles.
I think if your kicker has the leg, you put points on the board, you make this a 2-possession game. But it looks like they're going to go for it, Devin.
129 tackles coming into the game, or 128, I think, rather. But adding to that total, he's at a number here tonight, Owen Monk, and they are. This is the third fourth down attempt of this game. They'll run it. The jump cut back to the left. Topalian trying to race to the sticks. It's going to be close.
Oh, so close, Devin. I think he got it. Yes, he did. It is going to be first down Mustangs. For a first down, Devin.
Yes, indeed. Mason Topalian, and Monk was diving at his ankles again, but he couldn't get him cleanly. Tackle ended up being made by number 6, Trayston Stokes, and that is a huge U First Credit Union first down. And stop and see U First Credit Union, your first choice in Southern Utah on North Bluff Street. 11 minutes to go in this game, barring overtime. And clock is ticking. 9 on the play clock. Twins to either side. Barbin looking left. Throws left. Out route. It is in and out of the hands of Boston Adamson, and it's incomplete. I think he was trying to keep his feet in bounds and just had to stretch out for that, and it goes off his fingertips.
Well, and the worst thing about that play isn't that he missed the ball. Yes, that is bad, but it also stops the clock. If you're the Mustangs, you want plays that's going to keep that clock ticking because it is your friend right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the clock until you score.
Well,
I think you got to score here first and push it up to 14 potentially.
But I still want that clock ticking.
Out of the gun, still Barbin. Ready to go. Looking outside, completes it to Jordan Eaton. Eaton takes a hit from Owen Monk, who is just flying sideline to sideline. And it's inside the 20 to the 19. A short gain on the play. It's about a pickup of a couple. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Mustang offense.
And definitely you're within field goal range now. I think Coach Alafapo would be very comfortable kicking a field goal here. Yes, you do want 6. He wants to put 6 on the board. But if it does come down to a 4th down, I think he'll put points on the board.
Barbin, 14-21, now 15-22 after that completion. He's under pressure, looking to throw. Jump pass again, caught. Here comes Ty West, and Ty West has got another U First Credit Union first down. It's 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. What a throw again by Still Barbin when they need it most.
Barbin is 2 for 2 on those jump passes. Been watching a little Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes lately?
Yeah, and Adam Gore was coming on a blitz, but he kind of stumbled. McFarland makes the tackle, but not until prop, because that was kind of a broken play as Barbin was scrambling around, and West found an opening, and Barbin put it on him. Something about that Barbin name when it comes to quarterbacking responsibilities in St. George, Utah.
Yeah, in Southern Utah for sure.
Mason Topalian goes to the left. Now Barbin's going to roll right, looking to throw. He breaks out of a sack. Now he's going to be in the grasp again, and he is taken down. Another big-time play by Dante Bond. He had the tackle on 4th and goal that prevented a touchdown score for the Mustangs, and that'll back him up near the 20-yard line exactly.
Yeah, big play by the Ridgeline defense. Backing Barbin all the way up in that offense. Going to bring up a long 2nd down and goal.
9 minutes and 6 seconds and ticking left in regulation. Bond has been big time on that defensive line for Coach Cox. Do they have another stand in them? Topalian to the left of Barbin. They're going to throw. Barban looking for the play to develop. Now he'll check it down. It's complete to the outside. It's Topalian. Short of the chains. He'll get out of bounds. And now do you make it a 2-score lead and try the field goal? No, actually, you guys, it's only third down. Excuse me. Got to chunk back.
Yep.
That's probably why you checked it down. Nobody was open. Good coverage by the secondary of Ridgeline.
And again, a nice play by Barban. He didn't force anything. He just takes his check down and moves on to the third down.
Noah Kekoa was down there in coverage, blanketing the outside receiver, the right side cornerback for Ridgeline. Barban, here we go with 7 on the play clock. He snaps it with 6. Clean pocket, looking, just sitting there. Now he'll check it down outside to Topalian. Topalian jump cut and goes to the pylon. Touchdown. He jump cut, faked inside, raced to the pylon and beat everybody there. He froze the defense mark, and that is a touchdown Mustangs, and it is their largest lead of the night with 8:29 left to go.
Devin, give some credit to that Mustang offensive line because Barban, he could have made a sandwich and ate it back there. He had so much time. So give some big kudos to that Mustang offensive line.
Wow, what a play by the offensive line to give him the time, but then the freeze
yes,
by Mason Topalian, and then the speed to get to the pylon. 26 and now 27 as the PAT is up and good. We'll take a 30-second timeout now on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Mustangs lead the Riverhawks 27-13 on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Welcome back, everybody. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Kid Poormaster. 8:29 to go. 27-13 now after that beautiful third touchdown pass by Barban, but really the stop and start again by Mason Topalian was what got the trick done as he caught it outside of the 5, froze the defense, then raced to the pylon. Here's the kick, and the kick off the left foot of Ty Ottenscheid is returnable. Ottenscheid's kick from the 5. Bouncing to the outside, and nothing there from McFarland.
Really good coverage by the Mustang special teams, getting down there and not giving.
Yeah, don't even get the 20-yard line.
Yeah, didn't give up any of the lanes.
Coach Wayne, the first out there. Head coach and still the defensive coordinator.
I love his energy.
Oh, my goodness.
I love his energy and the way he treats his players down there.
Building a culture. Coach Wayne knows how to do it. Both these teams have incredible football cultures. That much we can promise you. 3-man front. Man in motion, Criddle. Nate Dolly looking for Criddle. Has him on a crossing route, and that's going to be a pickup of about 9, maybe just a yard shy of the first down.
Phillips was in coverage on Criddle. That was his responsibility. Couldn't quite keep up with him, and it was a great angle that Criddle took to give Dahlia a passing lane and an angle.
Nate Dolly is 17 of 24 for 120 yards and a touchdown. Does have 2 fumbles on sacks and an interception, though, and that's why Crimson is in part leading by 14. Screen set up. They got a wall of blockers. Reception made. Here they come. It's the tight end, Hunter Knighton. He's going to be caught by the backside by Phillips and taken down, but not before he's out to the 32. They'll spot it of Crimson Cliffs. That was perfectly drawn up.
It really was, and not only was it perfectly drawn up, Devin, it was also perfectly executed by that Riverhawk offense.
Give Jeremy Livingston the offensive coordinator. I was so impressed with them on their way to the state championship win last year. And they had so many talented players on that team, but they've just seemingly reloaded. They got a lot of young guys that are impact players. including this guy with the football, Nate Dahle, looking to throw underneath. It's caught. Criddle cuts out of bounds. It's a short gain. Mason Criddle, the senior wide receiver, will pick up about 5.
You know, when it comes to these programs like Ridgeline, you know, Crimson is building that program for sure. Dixie, those kind of teams, you know, they lose seniors every single year, but those deep programs just retool. They just put players into position, and they coach them up.
Second down. They'll give him a 4-yard gain. So 2nd down and 6. Olsen goes to the twin side, the top of your screen, far side of the field from the home sideline. Trips to the near side, empty formation. Dahle obviously going to drop back and pass. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to go to the chains. He's going to tuck and he's going to run and he's going to have the first down and tuck out of bounds. A smart play by Nate Dahle. That is a junior or senior-like decision by Nate Dahle.
Yep, and that is a first down, Devin, for Ridgeline. Again, the time is at 7 minutes.
This is clearly... An incredible year. He wins the battle with Jackson Olsen. Coach Wayne loving it. Jace Sweeten. That is the 4th takeaway of the game by this opportunistic Mustang defense, and they'll take over just outside their own 5-yard line. And still some clock here, but that was a big, to mark that down, that could be our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game if this score holds up and the Mustangs win it.
Absolutely. Now the Mustangs really going to lean on this offensive line, running game, conservative short passes, keep that clock ticking.
Out of the gun. Looking to throw or run, probably going to run it here. They were going to try to give a zone read, but it's going to be a timeout first. Fabulous Freddy's timeout. Take a timeout, get your car washed, 2 Southern Utah locations. And let's do it. Let's take a 30-second timeout. 30-second timeout. Mustangs up by 14, 6:47 to play in regulation here from SUU.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see what we can deliver.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, welcome back. 14-point lead. Devin and Mark up in the booth. Caden Formaster, our 3rd member of our crew. Let's go down for a sideline report. What do you see down there, Caden?
All right, so I'm here right in front of that Jace Sweeten interception. He read it perfectly, guys. He got up there in front of the receiver, able to pull it away. Crimson, again, just getting it done on defense, getting those turnovers.
All right, thank you, Caden. And now, out of the shadow of their own end zone, they'll run it. Mason Topalian has a little crease. A hit comes. They try to strip the football. He hangs on to it. And it's a pickup of 4 or 5 out across the 10.
Yeah, more importantly, you know, you go down inbounds and you keep that clock ticking. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's just huge right now for the Mustangs to keep that clock just rolling down.
2nd down. And now they're just definitely going to take that play clock all the way down, right, Mark? I mean, at 15,
absolutely.
You want to snap this with, 2-3 seconds on the play clock.
I was going to say even within 5, it would be acceptable. But, yeah, you have to take that within 5 seconds.
Hey, guys, down here on the
They're going to play action pass, and it's a catch, and it's a gain of a couple. Nice catch by Eaton, diving catch.
Yeah. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. .540, and that clock is still ticking. Does 27 points win this game? We will find out shortly, with Crimson up 27-13. 5:30 and ticking now. That clock is just ticking, Devin.
Yeah, it is.
If you're a Mustang fan, you love it. If you're a Ridgeline fan, you're like, stop the clock.
Now, the wind is right into Steele Barber in the Mustangs' face. It has picked up a little bit, but they're going to run it, and they're not going to get it, I don't think. And there's a late tackle and a flag. Oh, my. This could be a big mistake here, Mark.
Yeah, you know, a little frustration, I'm sure, is setting in on this Ridgeline defense, but that's a play you cannot make on 3rd down, because it was going to be 4th and 3, 4th and 4, and now it's going to give you the Mustangs an automatic, not an automatic first down, but the penalty yardage results in a first down. Yeah, because momentum had been stopped. They had pushed them back 3 or 4 yards already, and then to throw them to the ground, it's going to get called every single time.
Wow. I mean, you had them stopped on 3rd and 2 to a 1-yard gain at best. It was a yard shy. It wasn't even close. They were going to have to punt. Now they can run more clock. And a run off left tackle and a pickup of about 3 out across the 32. They'll give them the 33-yard line. So 2nd down and 7 for this Mustang offense with 4:38 and ticking. They lead by 14 points over Ridgeline.
And again, I would hate for our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game to be a penalty, but that was a crucial part of the game.
Take that clock down. And finally going to snap it here with seconds on the play clock. Outside hitch, caught. And that's going to be near a first down. So on 2nd down and 7, they throw for a 6-yard gain. They're staying aggressive here, Mark.
They really are. A little surprising. I don't mind that out pass on there. I just want the receiver to go down in bounds.
It stops the clock, but you're playing for first downs, which, of course, if you can get another fresh set of downs, will keep the chains moving. But more than one run play.
But the second half of that equation, too, though, Devin, is you are playing that clock as well.
Yeah.
And the receiver has to be heads up enough to go down in bounds.
The sun is setting and a full moon has appeared in the distance. It is a beautiful night in Cedar City. Can the Mustangs punch their ticket? Shot out of a cannon. Here comes McCord Christiansen across midfield to the 45-40, inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. That is a 22-yard run? Wow. He hit that hole so quick, Mark.
Yeah, that might just sew this up, Devin. I hate to kind of shut the door on Ridgeline this soon with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game, but that might have just closed the door.
Clock will continue to tick. Play clock down to 15. Mustangs now have the play call in. 1st and 10. That is a big 3rd and short first down run. And now, with 2 on the clock, they snap it. They'll run a draw to Christiansen. He'll make a cut and make a man miss to the 30-25 and down to the 22-yard line. That is another gaping run and a gain of about 17 yards for McCord Christiansen. He's hitting the hole fast. The line is opening up holes, and Crimson can smell victory.
Yeah, and that's another big first down with 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The Crimson Cliffs, the Stang Gang is what they call them, Devin. They are starting to celebrate. They are definitely starting to celebrate. The clock just ticked past 3 minutes to go. 27-13, Crimson Cliffs.
Topalian, handoff, makes a man miss. He breaks a tackle, and then he gets thrown down, and all that for really maybe half-yard pickup, but that was about it.
And again, I don't care, Devin. I just don't care about the yardage gained or lost right now. The important part is that clock is ticking. If you're in the Crimson Cliffs, Mustangs, Stang Gang, you are just totally excited that clock is ticking still.
Here we go. Play clock down to 12. And now they'll move Tapalian to the right of Steele Barban. And now they'll pass it again. Adamson catches it at the 17-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 4, maybe almost 5, depending on where they mark it. They'll mark it right at the 17.
And again, a conservative pass play, that's almost like a run because it was conservative. I don't mind that play at all. Again, I would prefer a run.
Ridgeline's got to take a timeout here. Stop the clock, 1:51 to go. This has been a really impressive drive to try to close out a game by this offense of the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. We'll keep it right here. And I want to thank all the Ridgeline sponsors helping out with Ridgeline football all season long. Glad you're tuned in tonight. I want to thank those people. Adams Wealth Advisors. Thank you, Adams Wealth Advisors. New Horizons Beauty College. The Booster Club Mattress Sale fundraising event. That's a big event. And thanks to everybody that helped in that up there at the mattress, at the big My Mattress store up there in Cache Valley. Appreciate Planet Fitness, among a lot others. If you get a chance to use any of the Ridgeline sponsors you've heard over the course of the season, do so on 104.5 The Ranch and always streaming Ridgeline games on CacheValleyDaily.com. But here in the semifinals, we're coming at you on KSLSports.com from Eccles Coliseum. They'll run it up the middle. Tapalian will bounce to the outside, and he will be shoestring tackled by who? You got it, Owen Monks, who just makes tackle after tackle in this game. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. 4th down, you running this thing down and just kick it, or do you just go ahead and work some more clock?
I think you're
up 14, 27-13. Crimson leads.
You run the clock. The clock is more important right now. And
well, they're going to take a timeout.
Yeah, Ridgeline took a timeout.
So I think you maybe could kick it, but you make sure you don't give it get a block and a scoop and score. That would be the only disastrous thing. But if you make it 17, it's lights out. Game, set, match.
I just feel that you just go for it. You just run that clock down.
Throw it into the end zone, maybe? Because if you do have the interception, maybe
because it's going to be
a touchback.
And even with it's going to be the clock is going to stop on the turnover on down. So why not go for it? Why not throw it into the end zone?
Just a reminder right here on the same website you're watching or listening, we're going to have Mountain Crest and Desert Hills coming up. That game's probably going to be close to getting us back on time, about 7 o'clock. Might be a little after the start and the kickoff of that one. They're going to throw into the end zone, wheel route, and it's over the head of Boston Adamson, incomplete. And Ridgeline will take over with 1:39 left in the 4th quarter. They trail Crimson Cliffs 27-13.
Obviously, a quick score is in call for Ridgeline right now. I know, Devin, Captain Obvious, but quick score must be for Ridgeline.
So Ridgeline's got to take shots here. Maybe a trick play even?
Yeah. Any trickeration and streak plays, definitely. Again, you're not down 1 score. You are down 2 touchdowns. So you do have to just open up the playbook. You have to go deep into the playbook, Devin.
Olsen is in the backfield. He's been the guy in the first half they did the reverse passes with. Dolly, the quarterback, has it. He's going to do a straight drop, looking, rolling. Going to try to tuck. He's going to throw last second, and it's incomplete. Trying to find Jackson Olsen. If he even catches it, it's still just an 11-yard game. 1:32 left.
And that's a tough pass by a left-handed quarterback when he's rolling out to his right and throwing that way as well for a left-handed quarterback. That is a tough pass.
So here we go. Is this it for the season? Do the defending champs go down? They need a miracle now. Screen pass. Olsen gets a hit. Gets a hit and just drops. No gain on the play. Maybe a yard pickup to the 19. He took a pop, Mark.
From Phillips.
Boom. And a clean hit.
Yeah.
Clean hit there. McKay Wright.
I apologize. Yeah, that was McKay Wright with the hit.
Another big play. Throwing again. Here we go. 3rd and 9. Over the middle. Caught And they're going to call a horse collar on the tackle, I believe.
And 3 flags come in, all on the same play.
Nice catch by Carson Cox over the middle of the field. That'll stop the clock.
I want to watch this Holbrook Asphalt replay here on that.
Face mask, a little bit of face mask, maybe.
Okay. All right.
By the way, the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert is in effect. So everybody in St. George, if you're feeling on a Saturday night, you want some yogurt, good only at the St. George Yogurtland. Holbrook Asphalt is paying for everybody to get 5 ounces free yogurt at Yogurtland in the Red Rock Commons. 55 seconds to go. Out of the gun. Looking to throw. Dolly taking a shot over the middle. Olsen, high-rising catch, bounces off a would-be tackle, then goes down quickly at the 33-yard line. What a catch. Jumped out of the gym to catch that one. I want to see the vertical on that high-rising catch.
Well, here it is right here on the replay. Boom.
Maybe didn't have to go as high as I thought. Still a good throw, good catch.
It looked like he went high, Devin. I was with you on that.
Fumble, and Dolly goes back to get it. Coming up again on 93.1 or the fansportsnetwork.com. You can watch or listen to Mountain Crest and Desert Hills. 25 seconds to go. Defending champs have made a run to the semis, but the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs that are moments away from advancing to the title bout. Rolling Dolly, second down and long. Going to throw, intercepted. Mustangs pick, number 22, interception by Fehi Feanolu.
And it's not going to matter, Devin. There is a penalty marker down here. I believe there was a roughing the passer. Not that it's going to change the score at all. Or change the outcome of this game, I should say.
Fehi jumped it, but it won't count. It appears you're right. And we're trying to find, look like Knight in the tight end. Fehi Feanolu jumped it, but it's going to be an official meeting. It looks like this one's coming back.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's a roughing the passer.
Just a couple of seconds left. 2 seconds. Crimson leading 27-13. They're going to win. They're going to the title game. They're hugging on the sideline.
Yeah, roughing the passer.
So we're going to have one final play here.
Again, it's not going to change the outcome of this game. The Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, they are the crowd, the student body already celebrating.
Dolly, 22 of 32, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles. The turnovers by this opportunistic Mustang defense have been the difference in their offense. Has been incredible as Barbin's thrown for 3 touchdowns. Final play of the game. Throwing it into the end zone. And this one intercepted over there by Tyson Marshall. T-Bone makes the pick. Another turnover, but that one really doesn't matter. Mustangs are going to the title game next week. They win it 27-13. How about the Stang gang, Mark?
Just watching those players out there and the coaching staff celebrating on the field really just gave me chills on the back of my neck. Very happy and excited for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs as they advance. They have punched their ticket into next Friday night's game.
Wow, what a win. Offense was great. Defense was great. Special teams was great. Ty West had a 90-yard kick return for a touchdown. When Ridgeline took the 13-12 lead, Ty West is going to be our Hearst Ace Hardware player of the game for this Mustang team with that touchdown reception from 39 out, and then that kick-off return, and the Mustangs never looked back. They close it out here, 27-13. All right, let's see. Do we have Caden Formaster?
I see him down there on the sideline. He's looking for somebody to get, whether it's Coach Alafapo or West. We'll see who he grabs.
All right, let's keep it right here. Some quick hitter stats. Dolly goes 22 of 34, 200 yards. J.T. White, the running back for Ridgeline, 11 carries, 80 yards tonight. He'll be back next season, as a lot of these youngsters will as well, for this Coach Cox Ridgeline Riverhawks team. But how about the efficiency of Still Barbin in the victory? He goes 21 of 29, 212 yards, not 1, not 2. Yep, he had 3 passing touchdowns, Mark. He was great.
Again, just another Still Barbin performance. He's impressed me all year long with his passing ability, his decision-making, and his run ability. He is an all-around quarterback that's doesn't look like a junior. He looks like a well-seasoned senior.
Yeah, no question. Barban did have one interception, but completes 72% of his passes. And they run the ball well tonight. They had 134 total rushing yards between McCord Christiansen, Mason Topalian, and still Barban.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Tyler West caught 4 for 69 and a touchdown. Jordan Eaton, 6 catches, 60 yards and a touchdown. No touchdown for Eaton there. Adamson, 4 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. Topalian had the other one as well. And the Mustangs are celebrating right now as they are going over in front of the stands. And let's go down to Caden Formaster. Caden, go ahead.
Guys, I got Mason Topalian here. He's the one that broke through for that last touchdown. Mason, tell me about this win. You're heading to the championship game. How you feeling?
Oh, it feels great, man. It's a great team win. I love all my friends, all my boys. It's a great battle. That Ridgeline team was good, and we fought hard, and I'm glad we got the win.
Very good. Hey, good luck in the championship round. Go have fun with the fans.
All right, thank you, Caden. There's Caden with Mason Topalian. Again, the numbers on Mason. 4 catches, 30 yards in that score. 19 carries on the ground, 45 yards. So they bottled him up a little bit. That's only 2.4 yards per game, but when they needed him to seal this and make it a 2-score lead, how about that shake and bake, that stop and go?
That delay on that was unbelievable. Again, just shows his athleticism as well. And, again, just really excited for this Mustang football team, the Stang Gang, to get into the championship game. Now we're just going to wait the winner of Mountain Crest and Desert Hills, Devin.
Yeah, and it looks like kickoff is going to be about 7:05, 7:10. They've put about 30 minutes on the scoreboard here, so we're going to be at least 7-8 minutes after top of the hour, 7 o'clock for the kickoff. So let's do this. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. Let's come back on the live stream and on radio with some of our post-game coverage here presented by Findlay Hyundai. A bunch of touchdowns and a bunch more kids in Washington County fed from our friends at Findlay Hyundai. For every touchdown score, they've teamed up with Neighborhood Connection. We love that partnership. We'll talk more about this. We'll hand out some awards, and then we will turn around and get ready for game number 2 between Desert Hills and Mountain Crest. But reaction after, again, on the Wilkinson House of Lighting scoreboard, the Mustangs are punching their ticket to the title game. They win it 27-13, and the defending champ Ridgeline Riverhawks season comes to an end.